Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Okay, well, I don't know why I decided not to play our intro, so that's
It
fun.
did.
Oh, I saw it.
Did? Oh,
I
it didn't
saw
on
it.
my end.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. On my end, it was just black, and I was like, oh, excellent.
I saw it because I was like, how cute we are. We were so young.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a year
Little
ago.
babies. Babies. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Couch Court with Llama. It's a special day. One, it's Cinco de Mayo, so that's fun. Even though Elbow Feet didn't pick me up tequila yesterday like I asked him to, but that's fine. That's fine. It's
Shame.
probably for the best. I don't think I really need to day drink today, but I thought about it. But no, me and Buffy are here with the lovely BaconBearzz. Everybody, round of
Oh.
applause for Bacon. Look at this panel of beautiful ladies. We are just knocking it out of the park today, aren't we? I love it.
Yeah, she looks
Hello,
so
chat.
cute.
Yes, if you guys aren't familiar with BaconBearzz, she runs the channel. That's my opinion. That's how I say it.
I need to get that on my soundboard.
Is that the correct way?
I have it on mine.
Yeah, I need to get it on mine. If you go back to like my very first podcast, that was my opener.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
hello, bro. Going to an Italian restaurant. They have margaritas there, right? Sure, why not? So we're just, hey, Echoes. I know, right? We got to get together with you as well and just hang out. So yeah, we're just hanging out today. We're all pretty much noobs in this Laura Owens saga. We read when the investigation report came out in January. I read that. Buffy, did you read it with me or no? I can't remember.
Okay, so
So
you
long
guys
ago.
are ahead of me, I think.
Well,
No.
we
I
read
think
that
you've covered
first.
more stuff.
Yeah, and then we decided to cover from the beginning, but that didn't start till like the middle of November because I had to wait for the trial we were watching to be over because couldn't do both at the same time.
What trial were you
So,
covering?
New Jersey versus Paul Canero, and it was 6 weeks of the most painful trial I've ever watched. It was
awful. Painful.
It was so bad. It was the best day when they were like, we're wrapping up early because it was supposed to be like 8-9 week trial, I think. And it ended up being 6, thank goodness, because we were like, oh my God, this is awful. But so we started back at the beginning with Mike Maricini, and then now in the timeline, we are David Gingras is about to enter the chat in our timeline. So
That's why she was
a lot.
covering. She was covering stuff yesterday, and I was like, I know I've heard all the big like all the stories, like the chirpings of him, and I'm like, I have like this guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get
start
there.
think you're like, okay, Laura Owens is the most unhinged character in the story. And then they're like, hold on a second.
Exactly. It's like, how does it just get crazier and
Yeah.
crazier and crazier? Like, we've read just about every document that's been put out there. I mean, some of them we summarized because it was just your typical, like, whatever, nothing crazy. But I've never seen a case, well, 10 cases, basically, is what this whole saga is, where even the court filings are unhinged. Like, I've never seen so many unhinged court documents ever. And it's been a wild ride.
I have a girlfriend who's a lawyer. I've been begging to get her on the show, but I keep sending her some of the motions and she's like, what is this? And she's a law professor, which is really why I mean, she was an attorney for a long time, but now she's a professor. And I'm like, please. And she's like, I don't even know what this is. And I'm like, oh, the way she would roast Gingras, it would be amazing.
I can't wait to get into his stuff. The only thing I've read of his is his motion to compel lunch. We're getting to that on Friday, I think. But I was like, oh my goodness, if this is any like insight to what to expect, holy shit.
Well,
what a gold mine.
Vlogs yet?
No, those are coming as well. So like I've tried to put like all of the time, like the documents, well, thanks to the lovely people at Victims of Laura Owens and all the best research, who really did all the hard work. Um, but I'm also putting his blogs like as they were released in real time for extra
Oh, you're
unhingedness.
so organized. Yeah, I accidentally
So,
just read one yesterday and I was like, my brain hurts.
right?
She's
Because
very
yeah,
type A. She's got
me,
everything mapped out, and
Oh my God.
it is
I
kind
love
of interesting
spreadsheets.
yeah, well, to follow it as it actually
Yeah,
happens.
as it
Very-
unfolds.
Yeah.
Well, you see her evolve over time, and
Mhm.
it's really, I know you've been reading the investigation report, which is, we're actually probably going to go reread it when we get there, because now that we have like more knowledge, like from everything else, I think to reread it again with like knowing the lore,
Mhm.
it's certain things are going to be like even more like, what the fuck?
Right.
But I know you've been covering it, and like honestly, those are like not even the best of what's in there. You're like, everything is that unhinged that you read. Everything.
I was explaining it to my husband because when I do videos like this and I do my long form videos, I have to be very selective about the information that I put in there, right?
Mhm.
Like, what's the most important information and how can I accurately tell the story succinctly in 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling my husband, I was like, I've covered everything, all the boys, the bankruptcy, David Gingras, but that's not even the worst part of the story. The worst
Yeah.
part is in our live streams when you're reading it word for word. Like it just gets way worse. And you cannot explain to somebody
Mm-mm.
in detail without going into the blogs and the motions. And her emails alone are insane.
Yes, they
Well,
are. And you're absolutely
I
right.
I was just about to say I have had the same conversation with my husband because I got him to at least listen to Love Trap because it's a lot more condensed.
Right.
And he's like, "This woman's crazy. She's sick. That's it." I was like, "But you don't even know the half of
No,
it."
no.
I
You
was
think
like,
that's sick?
Right.
I was like, "You don't even know the half of it. You have to read. You have to read the emails. You
Right.
have to listen. Like all that is left. I mean, it's great for condensing everything for people who
Mhm.
don't want to spend that much time. But like I was trying to say, like, oh my gosh, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too, with the fact that these are, male victims, that you really do have to go into what she said to all of them, all of it. Because
Mhm.
a lot of people, and listen, it's not even the fact that they're males. This goes with female victims too. Why don't you just block them? Why don't you just walk away? Why don't you yada, 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 And it's like, you have to read these to see how she keeps escalating and won't take no for an answer. What we've read so far, everyone has been like, no, leave me alone. No, no, no. And she just refuses to hear it, refuses their answers because she doesn't like them. And I think that's really telling. And so, I mean, I think Love Trap did an amazing job with what they could, but the real insanity is in the
I have
court documents.
I have a question for Bacon.
Mhm.
How did you hear about this? Like,
Everybody asks me that. I was doom scrolling at 11 o'clock and I saw this girl and she's like, these are the cases I'll be covering in 2026. So I went in the comments and somebody had said, I'll be watching the Laura Owens paternity scandal. And she was like, oh, I forgot to put that one in here. And I was like, what is that? So I just bookmarked it and I went to sleep. And the next morning I started looking at it and I'm like, no fucking way. like,
Oh, wow.
like, no way.
You check your bookmarks? That's amazing.
Yeah,
I do that and I forget about it. I'm like,
I
no.
do. I have a lot of favorites. So when I run out of content, I'm like, where can I choose from?
oh, that's smart.
I love that. Um, now you've covered the investigation report.
Mhm.
I think I've seen you've watched a lot of the hearings as well. We
Yeah, I
haven't
watched
watched the final one, but we've
yeah,
watched, I think, all the others
I
now.
watched the final one. I watched the IAH hearing. We watched Greg Gillespie's hearing. Um, and I think that's it so far on lives.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Now, oh, go ahead. You're fine.
I was
Sorry.
just gonna say, but I've covered just surface level, pretty much everything. I have one
Mhm.
more video that I'm slowly editing to come out because I don't have I have the facts, but I haven't read deep into everything else. So like it's basically a video that it's called No One Tells the Low No, because it's everybody else besides the men that she has victimized.
Yes.
So it covers PS Creative, it covers Sean Rowanhorse, it covers the other victims, but also I have it set on a timeline where you can see that she's simultaneously doing all these things at the same time.
Yes.
And I've been kind of waiting to put that out because it isn't as factual as we've been with the deep dive, but it is in editing. It's coming. But I think that really is it until the trial comes.
Yeah. Well, we did cover the Sean Rowanhorse, the Lone Star Cactus suit, and the Uber one, and all of those. And I think that's another thing that gets lost in all of this is just how many other victims
Right.
there are. And this is why I believe she's never going to stop.
No.
She is never going to stop being this way ever, because she knows no bounds.
Right.
You know, will she do this with other men? I think probably, yeah. But also look at all the people who she wasn't trying to be in a relationship with, that she tried to ruin their lives too.
It's anybody that she feels how do I anybody that she feels that wrongs her. She
Mhm.
has justification in going after them. Period.
I don't know if I've ever seen that level of spitefulness before. Like,
Girl, I haven't seen that level of time. Get
That's
a
true.
job. Like,
I was about to say her dedication, though, is something to be admired.
well, and that's the thing. I mean, putting all this time into something that costs you money? No, bad business. Bad business.
Yeah, I don't know how you just keep it going, like she has. But I'll tell you the one interesting so far, now that we've been so far ahead of, covering and going over everything, Michael Maricini's case is really, I think, the most shocking of all, even though it's not. Well, you start there and you're like, holy shit, this is crazy, because it is.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps getting crazier and crazier, right? So at first you're like, this is the craziest thing ever. And then the fact that she keeps doing it is even more crazy. But the fact that those two dated for so long, it's kind of like our only insight of what it would be like to be in a relationship with her. And wow.
Yeah. But did he, and that's a
Wow.
question that I would love to ask him, right? Did he date her because he truly wanted to, or did he date her because he was afraid of the repercussions if he stopped?
I personally think it's the
Ooh.
second. I can't answer for him, but the
Right.
way she would manipulate him every single time he would start to pull away. Listen, I hate this woman. Okay. The things that she takes from other people is
Mhm.
disgusting. And Mike seems like a very nice, lovely guy.
Listen,
And
if I ever get the chance to interview Michael Maricini, not only am I going to interview, but I'm going to set up a separate appointment because we're going to go sparring. This man is soft and he is kind, and we just need to toughen him up just a little bit. Like he's
Right.
too nice.
I know, but also he was in what seemed like from our perspective, an unwinnable situation, because she would constantly use the, oh, I'm going to hurt myself card
Mhm.
on him, and that's one of, I hate when people use that to manipulate people, which is exactly what she was doing every time, because, that person, I've been on both sides of that. So I understand both sides of it, but to do that to somebody, you don't want to be the reason why it actually does happen.
Sure.
You're going to take every single instance seriously because your conscience doesn't want to be wrong. And the
Yeah.
fact that she does that to him so many times, and then you get to see Jan come in, you get to see Ron come in, you get to see the family come in, and you're like, holy shit. All right. Your daughter, apparently, you're so fucking concerned that your daughter's going to kill herself. And then they put that responsibility on Mike to
Right.
make it better
Right.
instead of doing anything. And that was really shocking. I think might be one of the most shocking things that we read. Like, what?
It's
How as
so-
parents,
Right.
you
It's
know?
so funny because I have a 6-year-old daughter and I have a 9-year-old son, and I've been very clear in my house we are kind. We do what we can to be kind. We do what we can to be right. You know, and it's funny because I've told my daughter, there's one particular boy in her class that's just, he's got some behavioral issues. But my daughter knows if my mom gets a phone call from my teacher, I am in trouble. And yeah, because it's my job to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And, you know, now we're looking at somebody who's never had that, who's never been a 6-year-old in kindergarten, and she would get in trouble and her mom held her accountable. So now we have a 35-year-old monster.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can tell she was never told. I mean, I feel like her parents, she would cry and they'd be like, here you go. What can we give you to make it
Yeah.
stop? And like, yeah, that's, I think, you know, because we're all moms here on the panel today. And that is one of the hardest things to do with your kids, right? Is to make that firm
See?
boundary to like let, you know, but there's a reason why we have to do it, because if not, we get Laura. Do we need more? No, we don't.
I might have a really kind of unpopular opinion. I mean, not really
Oh, no,
unpopular opinion, but I kind of, okay, I don't know. Maybe I saw,
Say it,
like, I felt
Buffy.
bad. I know I'm trying to without, I know I'm going to get attacked for this. I kind of felt bad for Jan at first because you want to believe your kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if you know, I don't think she doesn't know that she has some mental health issues. And sometimes that's a really crappy place to be when you're dealing, as a mom. I have an adult child.
Mhm.
She's 24 years old. Oh my God. Anyway, so I have an adult daughter, and like when you have a child, you know, it's that transition to, I'm no longer the parent, but that I am the guide. Once they become like, I am no longer parenting you. You are parenting, but I'm here to guide you the rest of the way. I'm here to offer you advice and to be a sounding board, but it's no longer like, it's not my job. Like, it's not my job. I don't want to say not my job, but it's not my responsibility as much anymore. You're older. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's kind of a hard place to be because you know your kid is not making good decisions. You're trying to be supportive and not judgmental because then they like turn on you. It's a really shitty place to be in. No, I'm not saying that's Jan because I don't know all the other stuff. And maybe I'm giving her too much grace.
You are, because let me ask you, if your daughter, Michael Maricini, comes to your daughter's home and she's like, help me fake the fact that I just had ovarian cancer, are you going to be sitting there with an ice pack on her head and a bandage on her uterus?
Right.
No,
that's true.
Actually, no. And see, I didn't know any of that.
Oh,
yeah, that comes out in later. We haven't, when it comes to Mike, we've only done past, not 2025.
Okay, I only know. Yeah,
I
from
knew
like
and
up
let me
until
tell you, I was in
didn't
the
know.
same boat that you were in, especially because I have a brother like Laura, and my family, there's 4 kids in my family, and my parents, it was so much easier to give my brother what he wanted than to hold him accountable, because unfortunately some parents think that being accountable, holding your kid accountable and loving them are 2 separate things, and they are
Right.
not. They are the same. So I was like, you know, I was trying to see it from a toxic family place, and the chat was like, no. And I'm like, you guys, like, maybe they just don't know, maybe this, maybe that. And then the more information,
Well, see, that's what I thought the same thing, because I feel like, and Llama called me out on it on the last stream, was like, you were very, you gave like a lot of doubt to like the whole situation. And I did, because I didn't know anything. I did not voluntarily get on this ride knowing what I was getting into.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think some of us voluntarily got on this ride. We didn't understand how long the ride was and how many loops there were.
Oh, I did. When I pitched covering this in December, I was like, they were like, oh, can't you do it? And I was like, no. But no, Buffy, that's like the really good point of why, you know, you can cover the tip of the iceberg, which is a lot of information, right? But if you don't read more into the documents, the texts, the emails, you can make these little like, oh, well, maybe people look a little bit better until you start diving in and you're like, oh, so everybody's the asshole here. because how
Yeah,
could
I know.
Jan, because Laura's been pregnant how many times?
Mhm.
8,
Yeah.
10 or something, and Jan's never went with her
You
as
cannot
her
convince
mom?
me that as a woman who has had a my daughter could be
Yeah.
I could be 85 and my daughter could be 60. I'm taking her to the hospital. I'm
Yeah.
going with her wherever she needs to go. And if she chooses not to, I'm going to drag her sorry ass there. That's my baby. Like, and there's
Yeah.
something weird that she finds herself in all of these, medical anomalies and all these emergencies. And Jan's just like, okay. Jan's been pregnant twice.
Yes, right? Like, how is Jan buying any of this? And that's how after you get into stuff, you're like, okay, yeah, no, you are a piece of shit too, Jan.
Have you guys
We
watched the
tried.
body cam footage?
No, we're not there yet. No.
Okay.
We're
We
we're
have,
not
yeah.
getting to the body cam until like
Don't
the
worry
end of
about
June.
it. But I just when you see all of them, I have to tell you,
Mhm,
we don't hit my kids, okay? I don't
mhm.
hit my kids. I gotta tell you, if there's a SWAT team in my house, I'm hitting my fucking kid. It's 6:00 in the morning. Somebody's getting their
Yeah.
ass beat. It's
That's
just
funny.
the weirdest dynamic.
Mhm.
That's all right, Buffy. You'll get there. You'll get there.
That's what I guess I just try to give benefit of the doubt. I'm like, maybe she doesn't really realize, or maybe she does, and she's just trying to be supportive, and
Oh,
she,
that's a
but she
great
doesn't.
point. Okay, I never even thought.
I
Jan
don't
knows that
know.
belly rubbing video
Yeah.
was Sarah. That's another ex. See, again, there's so much
So then, what
bullshit and
is Jan's
shenanigans.
issue? Is she just psycho?
I,
Like,
I
I think
I think it's
so.
just a sick family dynamic. But you know what? I think it's just part of the thing that draws us all to true crime in general is the fact that we can't wrap our heads around it because we don't understand why people are capable of doing this. So when you look at a family
Mhm.
dynamic, right? And you yourself as a mother, and my husband always tells me, he's like, can you stop arguing with logic? These are not logical people. But like you're a mother who looks at this from a point of view of the things that you would do. And through
Mhm.
that, you don't want to believe that Jan is capable of this.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, Laura, fine. You're like, all right, one off psychopath. But when you realize how deep this goes, you're like, oh, this is sick.
Because who's paying for all the lawyers and all the stories? Like, listen, if my kid came to me like this and it's like, oh, I was pregnant and then this person forced me to have an abortion, like, I'm going to need to see the evidence of certain things before I'm paying how thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a lawyer. But then when it happens more than one time over, like, no way my parents are giving me money for a lawyer. If I get myself in trouble, guess what? I have to pay for
see,
it,
and
as a grown adult at 30
but
something years old.
but I have an adult child, and there are some times that she comes out with some crap, and I just go, like, in my head, I'm thinking, fuck. But at the same time, like, she's an adult, and I'll just be like, and just let her whatever,
Right.
because she's an adult, like, responsibilities and consequences. She's gonna have to deal with that.
But what
But
you're not doing is standing behind her going, yeah, I believe her. She did this. You're not standing behind her
yeah,
gassing her up.
I wouldn't do that.
You're standing there going, all right,
I won't.
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
I will say I wouldn't do that, but I would just be like, what the fuck? As soon as she walked out the door, to my husband. But like,
Now,
yeah,
because I don't know the answer to this. Do they have a caregiver for Ron who, like, isn't them? Like, is there somebody coming in and out of their house taking
I
care
don't
of
know.
Ron, or is it just them? And I say that just because, if you are the caregiver of someone, like, that does a lot to you to where she might just buy into a lot of Laura's recent stuff. There's no excuses for the Mike stuff. All right, at all. There's none for how they were doing that. But later on, where, there is a thing called caregiver burnout, you know, um, and so I don't know if maybe she just fed into Laura's twisted narrative as entertainment of just something to take your mind off of reality, you know?
Yeah, I
But I don't
don't
know. I don't know what their
disagree,
history
but
there.
I also just don't think that Laura could have gotten to the place that she's at 35 had this not been nurtured far before Ron was sick.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's very, very true. Oh man, it's it's a crazy.
I feel like sometimes I have a whole lot to learn.
Well,
Especially when it comes to
too
this.
innocent for this, Buffy.
There's no coming off this crazy train. I'll tell you that right now. Because there's so many different levels to all of it. And that's I think why everyone is so pissed. Because pick any card. Pick any card, Laura has used it. And she's been real dumb about it. You know, if you're a domestic violence survivor, you know this bitch doesn't know what she's talking about. If you're a sexual assault survivor, you know this bitch doesn't. And listen, everybody handles things differently. Not one of us is the same, but there's also for each thing a common like a common thing we all experience.
There's an
And then it's
understanding.
right. And then it's our own individual experiences. You know, just because I respond some one way doesn't mean you guys are. And that's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. But everybody that's been through one of these things is like, you are such a liar. You know, if you've had a miscarriage, oh my God, she is just so wrong about all of it. So blatantly wrong.
That's the thing. I mean, I've been pregnant twice and I've been lucky enough to have 2 pregnancies and 2 children. I haven't gone through any sort of pregnancy loss or child loss.
Mhm.
However, I know people who have in my personal life. And even just being a mother, the things that she says, I'm like, what are you like, how are you
Mhm.
even making up these stories?
Yeah.
And just she doesn't I think she's just used to saying things and getting her way. And
You
she's
know,
not used to pushback, which also is
absolutely.
why, in my opinion, she went after the content creators. Because now there's people outside that are like, well, wait a second. What about this? And what about that? And what about this? And all of a sudden she has a problem with that because who's pushed back.
That's a very you know, that's one of the things with pathological liars that they lie so much that you just don't even bother at a certain point. You're like, I know they're lying. And it's all about little things, not even big things that you're just like, whatever, I'm done. I'm not going to question it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened to Laura. Now, I think people like that should just be called out constantly,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not usually how that happens. I know a pathological liar. And at a certain point, I just had to stop and be like, let him tell whatever bullshit excuse. I know he's
Right.
lying and just move on because it wasn't worth the fight with that person. But when you let them go on so much, they think that their lies must be so fucking good that everybody must believe them. And then here we are. And then I
Well,
realized, okay, maybe that's not the right approach there.
right. And the thing is when you're dealing with somebody like Laura, right? Like I have people that I deal with the same thing, and all it's costing me is some people might believe this person and it may cost what my reputation looks like to them, right?
Mhm.
But
Right.
with Laura, it is Michael's opportunities at jobs, his opportunities to pay to get to rent an apartment. It's his
Mhm.
opportunities within relationships with Greg. It's countless money. It's countless time. She's going to his business with Clayton. It's his money. It's his time. Like her actions and her lies are costing real consequences. And she
Mhm.
absolutely needs to be held accountable. It would be much different if she was just out here on a content channel being like, Clayton sucks, whatever.
Right.
It's not.
And I don't think people really understand the amount that it's affected everyone, like to not just money, right? Some people might say, oh, at first glance, right? Money, your reputation, okay. But it goes a lot deeper than that. And especially when we live in a world where the internet is forever,
Yeah.
you know? And I do believe, my opinion, that she personally set out to ruin lives.
Oh, yeah.
Not even just, oh, I just want the internet not to like you. Like when you interviewed Clayton, which by the way, amazing interview with him. You did
Yeah.
such a good job with that. I felt like, he was being himself. Now, I don't know if that's because you're such a good interviewer, if that's where he is in life, and I hope that's where he is in life. It's
Mhm.
just, I know who I am, I know what I
Yeah.
want and what I stand for, and that's honestly, he deserves a round of applause for what he's been through to
Mhm.
have that outlook. Because I'd be like, "Fuck everybody,
Well, you
fuck
get
the
to a point
world."
where you're like, I don't care about you anymore.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. But he was right in saying that somebody could lose their life over this.
Mhm.
And I still believe that's a possibility in the future, that, if Mike didn't have the support he had, if Greg didn't, if Clayton didn't, if one of the future victims, because there's gonna be one, lose their life,
Mhm.
there is, we cover true crime.
Yeah. Well, and I
I
mean,
mean,
let me say this. I'm never in the corner of Laura Owens, but
mhm.
she could have easily lost her life over something like this.
Yes, her too, right?
Mhm.
We see it all the time
Right.
on both sides.
And that's the thing, for a man to get pushed to his end and decide, I'm not going to go through it with anymore, but instead of turning on himself, he turns on her. And I mean,
Mhm.
she weighs 90 pounds soaking wet. This
Yeah.
is not a girl who like, and whatever. What, as a woman, who's my number one predator? Men. And you're
It's true.
doing this to men consistently, and you're driving them to the brink where they have nothing left. And when somebody has nothing left, they are at their most dangerous point.
Exactly. And
I
that's
said
why
that to my husband yesterday.
you can't believe her DV stories, because if there's one thing you fear, it's that that person could kill you,
Right.
you know? So that's why it's very hard to believe her stories, that any of these men were abusive to the point where she thought she was going to die, because once you're in that spot, you don't forget that fear.
Right.
And she just
You
is so
cannot
flippant.
convince me that she has been afraid at any point in time. Any
Agreed.
point in time.
Agreed. Because most women, you wouldn't be taking them back. Like, you just want it all to go away and be safe.
Right.
And she's just like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I'm always in their life. And you're like, that's not how that normally goes.
Well,
Now,
when you look through the correspondence between her and everybody, it is very clear that she is the one in control,
mhm,
and she dictates how this is going to go.
that she does. And, yeah, you bring up a really good point that, like, she doesn't even know. I don't even think she knows how dangerous the world is. Like, it's never occurred to her that somebody could actually come after her. I know she makes these calls to police, her fucking 100 fucking calls to Scottsdale police about the internet's harassing me
Right.
and I feel unsafe. Yet, did you put up cameras or anything? Like,
Did you call the police on any time that you have claimed to be assaulted?
exactly. Exactly. I mean, do all victims do that? No, we're not talking about
No.
real victims. We're talking about this bitch that loves making up stories.
What I'm talking
You know?
about is a woman who utilizes 911 over content creators, but
Mhm.
doesn't utilize it when she actually needs it.
Exactly. And that's how you know she's fucking lying about everything.
Well, and I have to tell you too, as somebody who's experienced domestic violence myself, it's wild to watch somebody claim domestic violence and put herself in a situation where she could truly become a victim.
It's absolutely a very, very good point there. Um, well, not even the fact that, like, these guys could hurt her, but somebody else could as well. Like,
Well, I'm
even a
not talking
family member
about them now, but she didn't know that when she
right, that's
was
true.
with Greg 1 or 2 times. She didn't know Clayton, How did she know Clayton wasn't psychotic?
Yeah, right.
I
Honest
mean, and you don't know.
and I'll tell you one thing, we've read all their shit. Buffy and I have said it numerous times. No way, our messages would have been a lot fucking worse to her. Let me tell you what. I mean, Greg's was a little spicy, but still, ours You wouldn't have wanted to read our
Please, when
messages
she
in
goes in
court.
the TED Talk and she's like, Michael Maricini told me to kill myself. And I'm like, bitch, I've told people to kill themselves over a lot less. Like, it's crazy.
Or Steven called me a dumbass. They're
Oh
just
my
so
God.
mean to me. Oh, she's the worst. No, I think that victimhood that she loves so much. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have that nowadays, and it's kind of gross. I think everybody has usually been a victim of some sort. But to use it as a weapon to hurt people is just really, really, really disgusting. And then to tell everyone else they're wrong and they're the assholes.
I think
No.
Laura, I think she has like this self-importance, right? She is so important. She is number one, that I think getting through the victimhood then makes her a hero. Because she talks about how she can, I can put money towards, this cause, and, goes up and gets a TED Talk, and I survived this. And, I think it's a way to not victim in the way that she's a damsel in distress, but I've overcome this because I'm
Yes.
strong. I'm the hero now.
And like she's had everything handed to her. Everything. And it's just she's so mind-blowing how you've been given everything in life. You are so like she is the epitome of white woman privilege. And here she is. Oh, have you gotten into Chase J. Jones?
No, but I know,
You know,
I
but you know
know
about the story?
from the podcast. I know, yeah.
Holy shit. When I found out, we like to call it her using virtual blackface. When we found out that that's what she was doing, oh, my mouth. Like you really have no line. No line. Because
No.
why would you do that? You don't even need to do that. And it turns out it wasn't just Chase, that persona. She tried Asian persona, the whole I can't imagine.
I'm actually Laura Owens.
Yes.
Me.
Like
Yeah,
she
no, because
just
nothing is out of range for her. She doesn't care. She doesn't care how it affects people. She doesn't care how it looks. She doesn't care about any of this. None
No.
of it. Because the only person that matters is Laura Owens.
Would she try to get Clayton canceled for dancing to a song with the N-word? I mean, if you couldn't tell that wasn't a real person, I don't know
Yeah,
what
and
is.
also,
But
her emails are like, I also dance to hip hop. Okay? Racist?
right,
Like that?
right,
What?
right. So not only are you somebody that steals valor from other people, you also want to steal minorities' pain. Way to fucking go, Laura.
Right.
No, we were talking, you were saying something earlier about the timeline, how everything overlaps. And that was, something we covered along the way of like, oh, this is still going on. Well, this is still going on. How she did all this court fucking stuff, I don't know. Because one court case is a fucking anxiety nightmare that you just want it to stop, let alone being in sometimes 3 at the same time. I don't know.
I went through court for my first time last year, and I went pro se by myself. And I don't know if you guys have heard this story on my channel, but I went pro se in the beginning because I was going up against my mom.
Okay, family court. Okay.
Yeah, so I was taking custody. So my mom had decided, my sister's 16, and my mom has decided now she's never wanted to be a mom, but she's like, you know what? It's time for me to live my life. I'll see you when I see you. And she left my sister in the state with me and moved 8 states away. Well, not with me. She left her alone. My sister's 16 years old. So I immediately went to court. I had no money for a lawyer. My husband is irate because we've paid for lawyers for my other siblings. He's like, I am not paying money because your mom sucks. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to figure this out then.
Yeah.
Because I can't, this is my baby. I can't do this. I was 23 when she was born, and I was 16 when
wow.
my other siblings were born, and they, I took care of them. I'm the oldest daughter. These are my babies now,
Right.
So I did pro se, and I did that up until the point I got a lawyer. And I think it was more stressful when I got the lawyer because of the bills that started coming in, and because I had no control over the correspondence and kind of the way that they wanted to take it. But it from, let's see, we started April 20th. She moved in. We were done about August. That whole thing has cost me 10 grand total, if not more. And also, I was a ghost of a person. And I have 2 kids and a husband of my own, but I'm trying to figure out how to fight in this court system to protect my sister now and myself and do all these things. And to think about her simultaneously going through court processes, there has to be something missing, because I don't understand how you can do that with a full conscience and not be exhausted. And there's a part of me that she likes it. It's a game that she likes to play.
Yeah, to go through this voluntarily, putting yourself in the court system is a nightmare, you know? Obviously, yes, you know, and how much money it costs. Like, we've been keeping track since Clayton hired Woodnick and our timeline of where we are. We've been keeping track of every show, how much racked up with what we just covered. So people understand how expensive it is to go to court. How every little thing costs hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Right. And
Even
everybody was talking about her being pro se, and they're like, she hasn't paid a dime. But when I went pro se, in order to file a petition, because I had to file a petition to an emergency petition to establish guardianship. That was $400 just to file that paperwork and get in front of the court. And I didn't even have a lawyer.
Wow.
I gave my lawyers $1,500 as a retainer. Within the week, it was gone.
I remember that when I was going through my divorce. They were like, it's like a $2,000 retainer. And then they were like 2 weeks later, we're going to need more. And I'm like, what happened to what I just gave you?
Yeah. Even when you're in a non-contentious custody case, I mean, they're always kind of contentious, but not dealing with, you know, some really batshit people like a lot of people in family court are. It's still so fucking stressful because you have the government involved in your life and your child's life. And so, because I'm an unwed mother with my son. So in Ohio, we have the unwed mother law, right? So if me and his father were never married, we weren't even really in a relationship when he was born. So I automatically have 100% full custody and rights to my son. And the same is the same in Arizona, right? So for her to take Clayton to this paternity, she wanted co-parenting time. She's giving up part of her rights to somebody. I was like, nope. Don't tell me. Don't tell me you're a mom. No.
Right. She also went to claim paternity with a man that she also claimed to be afraid of.
Right.
So that's the kind of mother that you are. You're going to let this man be around your twins? I don't think so.
You know, when you have all the cards, you get to decide, you know, if you want your kid to be around them or like you have the power and the control. Now, I don't need that. I'm just saying because I'm experienced with that and I have that I know how it works. Right. You know, my son can go to his dad's if he wants to. If something happens, too bad. Too bad.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go to court for them to establish paternity and then ask for rights. So when she went for a parenting plan, I was like, girl, it's all up to you anyways.
Right.
Why would you want the government to be involved if you don't have to?
Because she wanted to be able to control Clayton.
And that's why I was like, girl, you're fucking stupid and lying.
Right.
And who does it while they're pregnant? It's so stressful. You're a high risk pregnancy with twins and you're like, let's go to court.
Well, that's one of the things that I had to fight in court here. And it was insane to me because I'm standing in front of a judge and I'm like, I want full custody. And they were like, but she's still her mother. She's in another state. I
Mhm.
need full. What if she has to go to the doctor? What if we have to make school decisions? What if there's an emergency? I am not
Yeah.
going to call somebody that I can't talk to at 2 a.m. to make emergency decisions for what is now our child in our household.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
it's
the
crazy
thing.
probably how hard you had to fight for it, huh?
Oh my God. The way, and they're like, well, and they're so, and it's so, and I get it. They see tens of cases every day. But the
Mhm.
lackadaisicalness of this, and it's like, well, and I'm like, I'll fucking kill everybody in here. Like, I can't. But and two, it's funny because I watch her with this co-parenting thing, and me and my husband have been together for 13 years now. I love my husband. I love him to the ends of this earth, but
Mhm.
co-parenting with another human being is so fucking hard. Like, and I like
Yes.
that one. I couldn't imagine co-parenting with somebody you don't like.
Nope.
That's
That's why when Clayton was like, "I will not have anything to do with you," I was like, he knows already that this is never gonna get better if this is true.
right.
She didn't like hearing that, but yeah. Yeah, even when you like the people, it's hard. Me and Elbow Feet will, you know, disagree with
Right.
how we deal with little Llama, and it's not easy. None of it's easy. So the fact that she's put herself into these situations again doesn't make any sense to people who have actually been through it. And it's great. I can't believe she's volunteered to be in all of this before, because I'll
I
tell you what,
think
I was
she
so
thinks
happy.
that if she filed these papers and they sent them to Clayton, Clayton would back down and he would talk to her, is what I think she thinks would happen.
When she
And
was like, "Oh, he said he won't pay me for child support." Okay, and like all the reasons of why she wanted to go to court, it's like it doesn't matter. Like the court will make him pay. Like
right.
if
It
that's
was
what's really happening here. Shut
it
up.
was just to get him to, like she said, just to get her to talk. Like, if I just intimidate him and push him and badger him and keep on pressing those buttons, that's
But
all
then
that was.
she carries on with the pregnancy far longer. Like what do you
Well, yeah,
obviously we
because she
can't,
wasn't getting what she wanted.
Mhm. She
but
had
then to
to.
go public, what did she think was going to
Because
happen?
Well, and I
she
mean, that's
thought it would make him come back. Like, oh no, stop it, shut it all down, and she'd get what she want. It was extortion. It was extortion. It was like
yeah.
blackmail.
But also, I think that's a testament to the fact that Laura's never dealt with real consequences.
Mhm.
She doesn't think that far. She doesn't think about how her actions, good or bad, have consequences because she never suffers any.
I don't think she'll get any still.
I know. I know. Don't piss me off, Buffy. It's too early.
Sorry.
I heard your
Sorry.
rant yesterday, girl.
Don't piss
Lobster
me off.
claws for you. I learned this is a thing the young people do.
No,
So I
it's
call it my lobster claws.
it's this.
Well, we're gonna do two, because why not make it better?
She's
But
like,
no,
lobster claw. I'm like,
lobster
okay, boomer, this
yeah,
way.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take
It's
it.
so funny. I was telling my sister, Pork Chop, the middle one, she's 20, she'll be 25 in 2 days from now. It's her birthday. But I was telling everybody, or her, about everybody's reception to my rant in the beginning of my stream yesterday. And it's like all these people are like, yay, this is so great. And I looked at my sister and I'm like, they don't realize we do this shit for fun.
Right? Like
We do
it's
our
just a
shit for
normal
no
Monday
reason.
for me.
Right. Oh no, my headphones have come apart.
No, I think I don't want to really talk about too much of that person,
Okay, I'm back.
but I wanted to talk about, the point that you made about it being about victims.
Mhm.
Because we here on our channel, we cover all sorts of true crime, murder cases, missing people. Terry, True Crime, I'm her podcast partner and she owns the channel. She does Midday Missing, where she covers all sorts of midday missing or missing cases for people that like aren't the perfect victim.
Sure.
And so like here on our channel, we try to really be victim centric when we can and tell more of their stories, because it is a problem.
Mhm.
It is a problem. Now, their families have not put out a lot about them, and that's fine and respectable, so you can't really turn them into more of what they really are about. But we still try our best. And I think so. We just did a big 14-part series because that's what happens when Llama's in charge of researching. And I'm like, well, I guess we got to tell the whole story because we get very ranty and pissed off. One of the ones we just did was Robert Hansen, the serial killer in Alaska. And most people are like, oh, I know that story. He killed, 17 sex workers in the 80s and oh, yada, yada. Turns out that's not the full real story. There's about a whole, 10 to 12 years before he gets caught where he's in and out of the legal system for literally kidnapping women and assaulting them. And he's just like slap on the wrist every time because he's a respectable businessman and these are just women, you know. And so I was like, we got to write 14 parts because if we don't tell their stories, then we are no better than fucking state of Alaska with their bullshit of like, oh, sex workers, who cares? You know? So it really pisses me off when people are like, well, tell us this story instead. It's like, no, victims really do matter. We did a live show in Ohio last year. And I've had a case I've kept my eye on of a man who went missing here, Joey LaBute. And I've been looking into it for years. And we did our show. And then after the show, somebody is like, hey, his family's right over there. And I was like, what? Because I wasn't expecting to. And they were so thankful about how we told the story and how we brought him to life. And so, and that he was more than just this disappearance. Because I went to a lot of the same places he did. I knew the whole area. And so, we always keep that in mind. It's like, you never know who's watching. And I feel like a lot of people forget that.
I have Shawnee Nelson in my chat. And she always drops some super fucking profound knowledge. And it's just something that stuck with me, especially when we were talking about like Gypsy Rose, right? I was talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. There were a lot of people that wanted to come in my chat and just scream at me at the top of their lungs and, whatever. But the point of the matter is for some of these people, whether they're drug addicts or sex workers or anything that you find to be unsavory, right? Because you can get on your soapbox and you're better than them. All of a sudden, their life negates anything that they've gone through. And we wouldn't do that to anybody else if we could get aligned with what they were doing in their life. And she had brought that up. She said it so eloquently. I hate the way she's just so smart. But she had just talked about how these things shouldn't negate the fact that you've been a victim of something. The only time it should negate it is if you're a pedophile. Free ride.
Yeah.
But other than that, like if you do something to kids, instant death. That's where I'm at. But like any other people who's like living their life and trying to figure it out, I just don't understand. We want people to be the perfect victim, right? We want them to look a certain way. We want them to be a certain way. We want them to act a certain way. And that's what aligns with our morals and our values. But we're not the ones going through it. And that's what pisses me off about this whole thing with Michael Maricini. When were you personally victimized by Laura Owens?
Yeah.
When were you dragged through the court system? When did you have a DVRO put up against you? I'll wait.
Right.
Here we're, talking about true crime, but none of us are impacted the way that these real people, these real families are impacted.
Agreed. And the fact that they're male victims too. I'm sure they've gotten their own heat about, you guys are guys. Are you really victims? Blah, blah, blah. And I think that's why another reason is to kind of bring awareness that, men are victims to shit too, guys.
Yeah.
And it's not just, yes, most of the time the victims are women in many scenarios. But these men, whether, they're famous like Clayton or not, It doesn't really matter. They're victims first and foremost. Like, I don't fucking know shit about The Bachelor. I don't care about The Bachelor. I don't care that Clayton was on reality TV.
Right.
I don't care that about any of that. What I care about is what the fuck happened to him and how for each of these men, because so we watch a lot of trials here.
Mhm.
That's what I usually cover. The fact that any of this for all of them was allowed to go on for as long as they did, there's no way. Like, how can each of these cases that we've learned about thus far go on for years and years and years and not just like dropped like they should have been, in my opinion?
2 things. If Laura was a man, this would not have gotten past Mike.
Absolutely.
And if any one of these other characters in this story were a person of color, we wouldn't be hearing shit about it. Because nobody would
Absolutely.
care. Nobody would
Mhm.
care.
That's true. That's true. I mean, the only reason people, I think, got word of it is because she chose Clayton as a victim, and that was her biggest mistake there.
Well, and one of the things you said earlier too, she has everything going for her. You're a rich white woman. Why are you so unhappy? Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, what about your life that you're just like, no,
Well, and
I'm not going to do any of this.
yeah, that's why it's so riveting because you can't wrap your brain around it. It
Mhm.
does not make sense.
I think there's a lot of mental illness there.
Yeah. Well, there has to be. But
An
too,
Easter basket.
yeah, the thing that bothers me with that though is like some people will say mental illness and then they'll be like they start to feel bad. Right? And do I think that people can have mental illness and live regular lives and be good
Mhm.
people? Yeah. You have to try. but
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
don't I think I have my thoughts on what I think she's dealing with. I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to diagnose her, but I agree with you. And there has to be some sort of mental illness to
Oh,
carry
there's
on
absolutely
this way.
some personality disorder there.
Right. But the fact that she keeps getting told the same thing by these men and by these people and chooses to move down the path of wrong behavior every time is where I find
Mhm.
it to be completely unforgiving.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I always say, you can have something and still be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, she, like, tries to hide behind, "Oh, you can't be mean to me because I lost babies." Okay. So maybe you did lose babies. You're still a fucking asshole.
Mhm.
You know? "Oh, maybe I have autism." Well, guess what? You can still have autism and be a fucking asshole. All right? An asshole can be any add anything to it, and you could still be an asshole.
The
And I
fact
hate that
that
she
she
hides behind that.
Yeah, I have a son with autism and you know, he's 9 years old, he's nonverbal. And when
Mhm.
she came out and she said that at the timing, because
Mhm.
now you're trying to use autism to explain away your bad behavior.
Exactly.
And that's not acceptable.
No, and let's say she would. I honestly, I don't believe it. I don't believe she was diagnosed because we can't believe anything she's ever said about anything ever, which is great. But also, um, if you're blaming all of this on the fact that you just found out you were autistic and everything makes sense, are you going to get help for it though?
Right. Right.
Because they do have, therapies for all sorts of things.
Right.
If you realize that, oh, you know what, maybe this is why, but are you getting that? Because if you're not, guess what? You're still an asshole.
Yeah.
You're still an
I mean,
asshole.
if she came out and she's like, I have autism and I have an aversion to cashmere sweaters, cool. Get it. Got it. But I have autism and I'm a serial predator. No, not the same thing. Like, not
Mm-mm.
the same thing. Maybe a hyper focus. All right. Maybe I'll give her the hyper focus. But no, you can't. Like, you can't just be like, I'm autistic, which is why I do this. No,
Mm-mm.
no.
I don't think it's
No.
autism. I think she's got a personality disorder. A few
Well,
of them.
you know what, too? You know, sometimes people are just sick without
Yeah.
disorders.
That's true.
Some people just like to hurt and they like to hurt others. You know, maybe it's not. I don't know. But, you know, there are a lot of people that, you know, I've seen in my chat or in my comments that are like, she has a mental illness. And I'm like, Don't start
Damn.
feeling
Well,
bad.
I'm not trying. I don't think of it as an excuse, but sometimes it can be a reason why someone behaves
Oh,
the way
sure.
they do.
Sure, absolutely.
But not an excuse for it.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing is like when you're diagnosed with a very serious like mental illness, like for example, like I have bipolar disorder. One of the things they tell you, like when you're manic, right, is that you're still responsible for what you did or said in a manic episode. Like you still have to take responsibility, even if it wasn't
Owens.
twice. And is not
Oh,
diagnosed. Maybe
she's
it's not-
here.
We
Sorry.
miss you, Laura
her
Owens.
so much.
She
I've
hasn't
never
been here in a
seen
few
that
months.
name.
Oh, she's fun. She's fun.
She's
Laura
super
Owens is.
fun. And like I literally like get so excited when she pops up in the chat, and she's been missing for a while and don't think I haven't noticed.
I love that top bun too. That's great.
But as I was saying, like you're still responsible.
Right.
You know, you're
Right.
responsible to take your medication. It doesn't always work, but there's a list of things that if you don't want to keep living, trying to not fall in those same patterns and those same mistakes or ruin your life, you got to be responsible. And she still doesn't want to be responsible for anything.
If you have enough wherewithal to be smart enough to be able to weaponize the legal system, you're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
So what do you think? Oh, what are your thoughts on this whole did she, didn't she with the plea deal or will or whatever?
Okay, listen, hear me out.
Okay.
I haven't been able to focus for the
She
past.
has been waiting for you to ask since we started this an hour.
Oh, we could have started this at the beginning. Whatever.
So I
We are
want.
obsessed with you, Laura Owens.
I know.
Can
I
we be
will
your
be
girlfriends?
boyfriend. I am quite masculine.
There's
could do
3
it.
of us.
Be my boyfriends or else. Can I be Greg Gillespie?
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I'll give it too much spin of the doubt, I guess. So I'm the softie.
yeah, you're Michael Maratini. You're definitely too nice.
Okay.
And Mama's the star of the show, so she gets to be Clayton.
All right.
So
Let me cut my hair.
okay, I'm hopeful that because we've heard nothing means that we're going to go to trial
I think so.
because of 2 things. Number 1, and I was talking about this with my husband, and I was like, she has to take the plea deal. She has to. And my husband's like, you're looking at a woman who was willing to lie herself all the way into perjury. This is not logic. You can't think about it logically. And I was like, okay. And the other thing is not only to admit that she's wrong to these men, but to JFC, and then have to pay, if restitution is a part of it, please let it be a part of it. To have to pay these men back.
Yeah.
I don't know if she can do it. And I think she thinks that she'll be able to tell her story. And the reason that I think that is because when you look at, I'll be there watching when you guys go to the cross-examination. But when she goes to the hearing and Deandra is on the stand with her, and Deandra's like, these are yes or no questions. Laura's like, that's unfair. That's unfair. I need to be able to tell my story. If she thinks that she can just get a little to tell her story in trial, she's going.
She got on the stand during that trial. Okay, I can't wait to get to that trial.
Buffy.
We haven't gotten to the trial yet.
Buffy, just let me collab with you guys and sit in silence and watch you.
Absolutely.
You can come watch it with us.
I don't remember where it is on our list.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. We're not that far away if we're about to.
Am I gonna like
Gingras
do this
enter.
the whole time?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, neither one of us have watched that. We have purposely have not watched it. Or the search warrant body cams. We haven't watched it.
The only other thing I can think of is that if they haven't scheduled a change of plea hearing, they're going to bring it up to save money and do it May 20th, which is going to piss me off.
It's going to piss all of us off, I think. But at the same time, I mean, I just hope she doesn't. I don't think she can. I don't think that she can do. Could you? Because I know I've heard you say what we've said too. if even one of the things of all of this, if we did it, we'd be hiding and living under rocks. Like no one would even know that we're even still. I might go to Mars. I might be like, you know what? Fuck it.
Embarrassment alone, I would just Thanos into the ether. Like just
Yeah. Right. And here she would have to admit to the entire internet forever. Like, okay, she's not going to do that. I don't think she's going to do that. I know,
I'm
right?
waiting. Tell me we were right the whole time. Tell me.
I don't think she can. And if she goes to trial, she gets to keep playing the victim narrative. Now, yes, I see if she took the plea deal, she could still be like, well, they told me that I had to, judge. I don't. And listen, if she takes this plea and it gets to sentencing and she's not 100% telling the judge, yes, I decided to take this on my own. Yes, I am guilty. If she wibble wobbles, guess what? They rip it apart and you go to trial.
But okay, so
they have to.
Wait. From all of the plea proceedings that we have seen where they go before the court and they have to make their plea, they read off the charges and they have to say that they are guilty of those charges. She actually doesn't have to admit to anything else except for what's on those charges.
Right.
So,
well, and I foresee her being like, yeah, I admitted that I lied in the court, but I actually went to Planned Parenthood in Oklahoma and you guys didn't know. And it's like, whatever, bitch. But you know what? She reminds me of Sherry Papini.
Oh, God.
That bitch went to prison, admitted guilt, went to prison, and then comes back and is like, here's my book about what actually happened.
Right. Did you see her dumbass documentary?
Oh, yeah, did I?
Like, what? Are
Yeah.
you serious? Or fucking Casey Anthony, who did the same. I mean, she was found not guilty. And that's a very touchy subject for some people. It kind of makes sense if you watched it. I mean, that's just how trials are. We all know and feel that she's guilty, but it's always up to the state to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from a trial perspective, right, in a jury standpoint, I don't know if I was on the jury, if I could have charged Casey Anthony with first-degree murder. I don't think that they had the evidence to do so. I think they had the evidence for second degree, and I think they got too zealous, and that
Exactly.
the point.
But, you know, she made a documentary too, lying about all sorts of stuff. Everybody knows they're liars. And I think that Laura, that will definitely be her thing. I mean, she always has to be the victim. What better way than to be a victim of the government?
Right.
You know?
They forced me. They made me.
But yeah, if she does take that and she shows up to the judge and she's like, yeah, well, I only did it because like X, Y, and Z. They're not going to like that. So
yeah. Well,
that is true. The victims are the first to know.
Oh,
I mean, I'm hoping for a trial.
Keep Bruce's comment up here because he says Laura has no job. So that's the other thing, right? If she has to pay restitution, they are going to require her to get a W-2 job.
Yep.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Get off probation. Well, I don't know if it's the same way there, but you don't get off probation until it's all paid.
Right.
So
yeah,
I hope they do, but I don't
minimum
know.
Wage, bitch.
I've never seen a trial for these kind of charges before. So that's another reason why we want the trial to go is because we've never seen a perjury.
Well, perjury doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, and fraud and all that.
I mean, it happens all the time. I'm just saying they don't usually bring charges because it's very hard to prove.
Casey, you know, Terry, my partner, the founder of True Crime and Wine Time, she did an interview with Judge Belvin Perry, Casey Anthony's judge.
Really?
Yes, it's on our channel somewhere. Somebody that's listening on our team can give it a look. It was her and her old host, JT, because he had written a book about 2 years ago, and I was a producer on the other side. Just came to this side of the screen in the last year. I've always been behind the scenes. But by the way, if you want to know what that was like, go listen to that. He had things to say.
I bet.
And his book was he was fascinating. I wish we could have talked to him longer or more. He might still do interviews. So you might want to hit up Judge Belvin Perry. He's retired now, so he can. He had lots of fascinating stories. But I forget where I was going with that when I brought it up.
We were talking about her getting a job, and then Casey Anthony, and then proving, not being able to prove their case.
Oh, so back to this possibility of the trial, because we haven't seen one like this. I don't know how they're going to present this information to a jury.
I know. Fascinating.
So
Video.
that's going to be really interesting.
I mean, it would have
I
to be
cannot
through
wait.
video.
It would have to be what? I'm sorry.
Through video.
Oh,
They
like
would
through
be
the
able- through the
Mhm.
past accounts to be able to prove their point, because they can use her own words against her.
yes.
And that's
Yeah,
all public
but you
information.
have to draw a line to the jurors for the story, and how you present everything is, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
What do you mean?
okay, so you have to tell.
Are we
like,
are you now
when you're
are we talking about the prosecution's case?
yeah,
now? Okay.
yeah, they have to tell the story to the jury. This is such a hard story to tell. Anyway,
So you go with the timeline. You go with her emails. And then you go through the court system. And then you end it with victim impacts. You bring up Mike, you bring up Greg, you bring up Clayton. I think Mike and Greg more than Clayton, not because they're unequal, but because it's been longer, it's been dragged out, it's been more money, and they're regular people. I think that on a jury, Clayton wouldn't get as much sympathy because he's Clayton Echard. So I think you end it with victims and how this has torn their lives apart, especially Mike, especially with the fact that he hasn't been able to get opportunities. He hasn't been able to get jobs. This almost, could have ruined his marriage. He still has a family in California or wherever it is. She's still trying to get a DVRO on them. But as if I were a prosecutor, everything that I'm bringing up is Laura's correspondence, period. Let her attorneys bring up Michael and Clayton. I don't need to argue the fact that these men fought for their lives with her. You just need to make sure that the jury remembers every single thing that she said. The fact that she was bringing up abortion coercion with Greg, but she was using abortion to coerce him into dating her.
It's Michael on the list?
Oh,
Is
I'm
Mike on the
sure.
list?
I would be shocked if he wasn't.
Well, I'm curious if she hasn't taken a plea deal, what filings we might be seeing from the defense here soon, because they're going to try to keep out as much shit as possible, and that could include things about Mike. I'm very curious to see what they're going to try to push to keep out of what doesn't qualify to go in. I think that's one thing that people might be disappointed in, is that certain stuff is going to be left out of the trial. But I think you brought up some really good points of how to tell that. I hope they let all three men be witnesses in this, because this trial, I know it's just Clayton and Greg's name on this trial. Basically, they weren't able to include Mike because he's in California, which could also be a factor into his stuff maybe not being allowed because it's a whole different state.
Yeah.
But I hope that at least victim impact, I don't think they can stop him from victim impact statements though.
I don't
but
know.
she's
I
being,
also just don't
is
know how to
she,
tell the story without Michael Maricini,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
the length of time that she has spent on him in particular shows how calculated and how evil she is.
right, but
Mhm.
there's the bad acts caveat, like the 404B and stuff like that, where they don't let in prior things because it's more biased and than it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah, but also too, we have the opportunity, because Laura likes to talk. And the problem with putting people on the stand is if they open a door, that gives prosecution an opportunity to kick it wide open.
That is a
Yeah, well,
very
she
good
would,
point. Yes.
if she gets on the stand, which
Right. You can't
don't know
tell
why
me
she
that
was
bitch wouldn't get on the stand.
Oh, I know she's getting on that stage. She
Do you
has
think
to
she-
get on. I think so.
I don't know.
She-
I really thought there was going to be a lot of people that get on the stand. Like there was a
No.
lot of people I expected.
Buffy,
and
when
they
you
didn't.
see her in the trial, you'll she just thinks that she's gonna spew and everybody's gonna believe her. Watch the
Mhm.
trial, get back to me.
Well, you'll be watching with us. No, I mean, I agree too. That's why she's went on with everything as long as possible, because she's convinced she can convince people.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, right? This woman went on and taped herself for a TEDx talk. That's how important she thinks she is. Not that I'm saying anybody else who's done the TEDx talk weren't important. They had real stories. But she doesn't. She just wants to hear herself and her story. Honestly, she should have been a content creator. She might have made something of herself.
Well, Elja says if Lo's lawyers let her get on the stand, they're dumb. They don't have a choice. They're gonna trust me. They're going to advise her, don't get on that fucking stand.
Right.
It's not if she wants to get, that's her right. And your lawyer,
well, they
can't
ask you.
stop you from doing that.
Right. They ask you because they stand up and they have to do what is that, a
Exactly.
colloquy? They have to they stand up and they ask you, do you understand what this means? Do you understand that by not testifying, you are giving up your right to tell your story, which you don't have to defend yourself to the jury. That's not your job. It's the prosecution's job to, prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I think even if her attorney said no, that the judge would ask her and she'd be like, yeah, I'm going.
You think she's going to Donna Adelson? She's going to go back and forth. I need 30 minutes. I need more
Probably.
time.
I need more
I need
time.
more time.
Probably. She always needs more time for everything. No, I think if she does, she'll take the stand. I do. I mean, the only time a lawyer is going to tell you that you're probably going to take the stand is for self-defense. If you're using a self-defense, you are taking that stand.
Look at Sarah Boone. Look at that guy, Bannon. Chris Bannon? What was his name? I don't know. Look at
You're talking about Banfield?
Banfield. Oh, Brendan
yeah.
Banfield.
That guy, yuck. Look at Alex Murdaugh. These are people who think that they are smarter than everybody in the room. And she absolutely thinks that she's the smartest one in the room.
That's why I think she'll do it. And I can't wait. I can't wait because that's going to be so great.
I feel like there's so many people I expected to get on the stand that never ever testified.
I have to tell you, I was pretty shocked about Donna Adelson. I did think she was going to get up there.
Oh, that bitch. That trial was a lot of fun to watch, though. She was when she found out I was guilty.
I know.
Like, girl, are you?
That judge was so good.
When her headphones were flipped the other way.
Oh my God.
Like I expected Corey Richins to testify.
Yeah, Corey Richins sucks too. I was surprised that she didn't. I wonder how many of them, after they get their guilty verdict, regret it. And is like, well, if I'm going down, I might as well say what I want to say,
That's true. I mean, it usually does not work well for the it hardly ever is in the defendant's favor. Again, the only time that you really should consider it is a self-defense case, because you have to prove and say that how you felt at the time when you had to the only person that can vouch for that is you. But it doesn't usually work very well because people's self-defense isn't usually self-defense. So other than that, don't take the stand, guys. Don't do it.
Don't do
and
it.
And her lawyers are going to tell her not to fucking do it. But we all know how Laura handles.
I don't know. It worked pretty good on the jury I was on, where it was a self-defense case and he testified. That he got hung a jury twice.
Yeah.
So
I mean, self-defense is like the only time where okay. Now, does every juror want to hear from the defendant? Fuck yeah, they do.
What do you think about Karen Reed? Do you think she should have gotten up there?
No, hers wasn't a self.
No, she should have kept. She should have kept.
She shouldn't have done those fucking interviews. Is what she should have fucking not done.
I
still can't believe they let her. Told her that was fine.
Surprised. I have to tell you though, it's funny because I don't think she's guilty. I don't think that
Karen. No.
Anything to do with what happened to John O'Keefe. But I saw those interviews and I'm like, oh, you are unlikable.
Yeah, but they clipped those interviews and took a lot of stuff out of context, which they're not supposed to do. Like, it's supposed to be full context, even though they do it. But like, they did clip a lot of that and made her
Yeah.
look as bad as possible.
Oh,
And that judge had issues.
Laura Owens just talked about Nicole Kessinger. Bitch, don't.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
have to take out the whiteboard. I got my red strings. I hate that bitch. Oh, I hate her.
I
Like,
mean,
who's
I
that?
think here's what is gonna. When it comes to the plea deal, I want to know what the 4 felonies are that they offered
Mhm.
to bring them down. I hope it's one of each, because that is really going to stop her in the future when it comes to court. Because here's the thing: once you're labeled a liar, you are always going to be a non-credible witness, and I really hope that for her, for the future victims.
Somebody
Really.
sent it to me, and let me look it up, and then we can decide.
Oh, what the 4 felonies?
Case history? Is this it?
Because I'm not surprised they went down to small. A lot of them were repeats,
Hold on.
and
do I
so
have- this
you
is
know, okay.
okay. So we have. I don't think, because it's a class 2 felony, I don't think they're going to let this. It's the strongest one they have against her. I don't think they're going to let go of fraudulent schemes and artifices.
Good.
Then there's forgery, perjury, which is the false sworn statement, perjury, false sworn statement, perjury, false sworn statement, perjury, false sworn statement, tampering with physical evidence to destroy or alter. They might keep that one. They might. I'm sure they're going to condense perjury and bring all those down to 1.
As long as that she is marked uncredible, that's about probably the most that we can honestly ask for in regards to stopping future endeavors by her. Because that shit does matter in court.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, what I see is probably, if it's really down to 4, fraudulent schemes and artifices, perjury, taking the identity of another, and tampering with physical evidence. Those would be my 4. I think they'll let go of theft by extortion because she didn't receive any money through it. It doesn't mean, and a lot of people are like, well, she didn't steal any money. No, she caused these men to lose money.
but she did ask for money in the suits. Well, for Greg anyway, she did. It was like 47,000, and
It
then she asked
started
for
at like
more.
45.
She told Clayton that she was going to sue him for $1.4 million if he didn't do what she said.
Yeah, we're about ready to. I don't think that letter is available, but that's where we are in the
Oh, it's
timeline.
available, ladies.
Oh, is it? I don't.
Oh,
It might be in one of the. Actually, I think it might be in the motion to compel that we're going to be reading on Thursday. Because I just kind of like lightly scan the documents to know how much they really are. But if I don't see it, I'll be like, "Hey, Bacon, send it to me. Okay, thanks."
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's what's going to be the 4 that they stay with.
Well, Hellville says she should be labeled a vexatious litigant. I mean, I don't know if a criminal court can order that, but listen, if once you're labeled a fucking liar and a fraud, that's pretty damning. Like, every attorney from then on out is going to be like, boom, bitch, guess what? And that itself is basically being like, yeah, good luck in going to court about anything ever.
Right.
Well, that's why that Devers lady was pretty much fired from being a cop, and Karen Reed. Because once she was like, oh, it was a false memory. Girl, why would you say that on the stand? Now, anything you do,
right,
you're fucked.
Right.
And that stuff does matter in court. So,
well, it's very clear that she doesn't take the court system seriously. So in front of any judge, any lawyer that would go up against her could bring this forward.
And I think that goes to like why she was able to have 3 going simultaneously.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Tiff
because she
says
doesn't
that
take it
it's
seriously.
not financial extortion. I trust Tiff. Tiff is the financial guru. I've been watching her finance stuff because
It's not financial extortion.
I know.
No. I'm
Oh.
asking. That's a question because I thought theft by extortion is always financial. So what
Well, I
is it?
don't know exactly what her reference was. Here we go. The extortion is for threatening to accuse Greg of committing a crime.
Oh.
That's interesting. Thank you for that, Tiff. But Tiff is, I've been trying to listen to all the pantheon of Laura Owens content creators. Tiff has a lot of the financial stuff, which I don't know shit about.
Yeah,
I
I don't
shuck
either.
the finances. So she has been very helpful in
Poor Laura in our
that.
chat is having a meltdown.
I believe if I'm not allowed to continue in this way without consequences, I will become the next Letitia Stout. Oh, that fucking bitch. She's the reason I don't cover kids' trials. No, thank you. They're
Yeah,
too
That was a
much.
crazy trial.
immediately.
They're too much. But yeah, I think no matter what, she's gonna get Scarlet L on her
Good.
forehead. And I know we all want her to go to jail. I do as well. But I don't know if it's really good. Listen, I don't even care if she's there 6 months. All right? Because 6 months to her is gonna seem like forever.
Well, just any punishment.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
if it's like
I'm
community
pessimistic.
service, she's gonna go do some sort of bougie, not even real community service. I think she just needs to know how the rest of us live who have real fucking problems.
She's like
You know?
Tori Richens. She's like, what are rich prisons?
Probably. Like, can
Rich-
I put in a request, please?
Right.
Luxury prisons in the United States.
The next court date is May 20th. That's going to be the what do
hearing.
they call them? It's a complex case management, but it's just a status update.
Mhm.
So that's where we'll find out, friends.
Maybe. That's also a very special holiday. It's BJ Day.
BJ Day.
And BJ, yeah, it's the same day Clayton got his blowjob from Laura.
Oh my God, it's my little sister's birthday.
No.
Oh man.
I don't know. We were talking about how oh shit, that's what I forgot to do today. I forgot to put a little link to Mike's fundraiser thing because you brought that up and we want to bring that up too. I forgot to all about that today. I knew there was something.
Steak and BJ Day was like March 14th, I thought. So like you have Steak and BJ Day moved to May 20th. Like women have Valentine's Day, and so you have Steak and BJ Day the next month,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
May
we'll just move
20th.
it to May 20th.
National BJ Day.
Let's go.
So get ready, ladies. No, I think it'd be really nice if like we did some sort of like fundraiser with everybody, but we're new to the group. So, I don't know, maybe they already have plans or something. But then we could, all be on at different times. We could raise money for Mike's GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Because
Does
he
Greg
still
have
has
one as well?
Huh?
Does Greg have one as well?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have to look into it because it was just like suggested in the Discord. And then I was like, okay, well, if somebody does it, throw me in, throw Buffy and I in the chat. I don't know. But, those guys are still fighting because Greg still has a DVRO on him, right?
I believe it's Greg and Mike.
Mike's was let go, but she's appealing for it. So that's still happening. Greg is still under one, which Greg's case, I don't know how much you've looked in. His will very much piss you off.
So I just
Did you watch
finished
that hearing?
the in the beginning, yeah. I just finished the investigative report. So I've just gotten through some of his emails. I haven't gotten to his case yet. So I gotta see where my audience wants to go next. But I would like to cover the case. We did the ADRE, we did the investigative report, and now it's just like, all right, where do you guys want to tackle next? Because I'm just gonna do it.
Greg's is really frustrating because again, it's the court that I think is the problem. They let it go on for as long as it did. Now, I don't know as much about civil court as I do criminal because we don't really see a lot of public civil court things, and they do have some different rules there. But for Greg's, the fact that it was drawn out as long as it was, you see, again, what's in the report, like 2 pages of all of the shit she sends to Greg, and how she does that. But like the ending of that, where basically the judge couldn't be bothered, in my opinion, to rule one way or another, and just said, you know what? Nothing for anybody. You're both responsible for your own feet. Like, just, it was gross. It was real gross. Was pissed afterwards.
I
learning how
have,
that came out.
To Jana, I have a feeling that she's going to be quiet for now. She's going to see what's going on. And I have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be all of us next. Honestly,
Probably.
honestly, I think she is so pissed, just seething in her dirty fucking casita. And she is just, because she can't say anything right now. Because anything that she says
She
can be used
shouldn't.
in a court of law.
Exactly.
So I think she's being quiet. I think content creators are going to be next. I think that is going to be her biggest thing, because she has to fight this. She has to save her reputation.
Girl, I ain't no saving it. But also good luck with what? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not Dave, who was kind enough to never mention her name. I'll say that bitch's name. All right. Because she needs to be plastered everywhere. We said the same thing that you have when we started covering it as well, that the whole point is to get the world to know who this person is, because she isn't going to stop. I don't believe for 1 second that's ever going to be the case. And more people need to know, and the more people that cover it, the more she can't scrub shit off the internet. And if she goes to trial, there's going to be even more people covering it with even more audience. Because, the trial watchers, we're kind of a niche part of the true crime community. Most true crime nerds don't watch the trials. And, when you get LawTube in on this, you get fucking Emily D. Baker, the fucking queen of LawTube.
I love her.
We love we love all of LawTube, but EDV is the queen. But you get people like that covering the trial. Oh, Laura, you're going to be in for a treat for that. So that's another reason why I hope that there is a trial. Oh, look, there's my mama Llama actually in the chat there.
Hi.
That's why I think this trial is really important to do and cover. It may not be true crime's favorite, because it's not murder or whatever. And favorite's not the right word. I shouldn't have used that word. It just may not seem as glamorous. Well, glamorous isn't the right word either. Llama, use the fucking right words.
Hold on. My dog is frantically trying to get into my office.
Oh, that's okay. You're fine. My dogs are actually being very well
I
behaved.
usually close the door, but she knows how to open doors, but I've locked it.
But like this kind of case, it isn't your normal kind of case to where, because like I first heard about this, words are hard, Terry. I first remember coming across this with Dave. And I was like, oh, he like popped up on my YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. This woman's accusing, but I was like, why do I give a shit? I don't watch The Bachelor. I don't care about a pregnancy thing. And then I just didn't follow up with it until afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, it's so much worse. So much worse than a pregnancy scandal. And I think that's how the rest of the true crime community is going to come at this as well.
Well, the thing is, the funny thing about the internet is, right? Yeah, BaconBearzz dog Jet is in the chat.
Aw.
Come here, Big Mama. Show everybody. Come here. Come on, say hi.
That's cute.
She's
like, I just heard it was the party for the ladies. Oh, look at her.
I know. She's
Is
such
that a boxer?
No, she's a lab mixed with a plot hound.
Oh, okay. Another hound owner. They're fun, aren't they? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, look at you. And you're all like brindly. Oh, you're adorbs.
A good girl.
Warning, warning. Laura Owens is a dumbass who will scam you.
So
Avoidance, avoidance.
here's the thing too about like the internet and with trials. Even if you're look at Karen Reed, I don't believe that she had anything to do with that. And the internet and the public tore her to shreds.
Yes.
And she thinks she's got it bad now.
Well, you know, that's the crazy thing about this. This is how, Laura, you are so bad at this that there is nobody in your corner. All right. Because they can be like, oh, well, I'm going to have witnesses, but they're just so scared to come out because of the internet. No, that doesn't stop the internet from taking sides, honey. None of the internet is taking your side. That's when you know.
To see one comment in favor of Laura Owens.
And like, I think people can have differing opinions. Like, if you have a differing opinion than me, that's fine. Like, that's okay. Because we all have different like experiences of how we see things and all of that. And that's literally the way with just about every case. This one, crickets.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally has united the internet, which the only thing that does that is cute animal videos.
Yeah.
So that's impressive and wild to me when I was like, what? Well, I guess there is her website with anonymous supporters.
I haven't read her website yet. I'm so excited.
There was a
It's not
few
very much.
under the law and crime video that was posted of her last hearing.
Oh,
was
that
like,
is true.
I did screen grab a couple of them. I was like, there's somebody out there on her side.
Mhm.
Like one.
Stop it. I'm going there right now. You stop it. No way. It's Laura Owens. I don't believe it's anybody else but Laura Owens.
Well, we get 2 downvotes every stream we do, and I'm convinced that that's Laura and David.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm just saying. No, like that's a really another interesting thing. But again, it's because she's chosen to use things that are so obvious if you've been through it. Like every single person's like, nope, that's not how that works. You lost me at that, like, nope, I've had a miscarriage and you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'll have to send it to you, Bacon.
Or those that have, fought cancer, some of our staff is battling cancer, then her fucking bullshit about having cancer. Like, it's just, she pisses off every single sect that nobody can be like, well, no.
Because I screenshot it and sent it to you. I was like, look at that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Runkle has covered some of this. I love Runkle. He's amazing. I know he's covered some of it, but I don't think as like extensively.
I just saw him go after Gingras.
Mhm.
His thumbnail.
Well, wasn't Gingras saying something to him? Didn't Gingras say something about him?
Did he? Probably.
I don't know.
I thought.
Probably.
Gingras is trying too hard to go after smaller YouTubers. Which is why I'm waiting for him. Waiting for you, son. Let's go, bitch.
Which is, I guess wanting to defend yourself, but like, whoa. But I don't know. We don't know enough about her horses. What is going to happen to the horses if they have to leave their house? Where are the horses going to go?
Where are they going to go? Are they getting a new house?
I don't know. We haven't really gotten too far into the bankruptcy because I don't understand a lot of that. We will. I can't, again, because they're just as important and crazy. Like how is bankruptcy courts just as fucking batshit crazy as her other stuff? It's not supposed to be, but it is. Oh, you know what, Bacon? I forgot. Somebody had suggested you a few weeks ago, and you didn't know the case. Now, if you want a trial, it's an old one, so you can, speed it up a little bit. But Daryl Brooks, girl, I need to see.
I have it written down.
I have never had a trial that literally made me yell at the TV all day, every day for 3 weeks. One, I'll warn, it is an incredibly sad story. You will cry. but he is the most frustrating defendant ever. He represents himself. He has zero respect for the gravity of why he's there. But it's also, it teaches people. I know you said you like to learn something from every case. So for people that don't trial watch or know a lot of the lingo, the judge is so patient. She's a fucking saint. But because he's pro se, she has to explain to him a
Right.
lot of the legal process. So it helps people, you know, regular people understand that a little bit more. Just, I know you like to learn things. But oh my God, do I want to see you just because listen, you know, most of the time during breaks of court, not a whole lot happens. That's when everything happens.
Well, I'm a
And
correct you there. Technically, she doesn't have to explain anything to him. You're
No,
supposed
that's
to
true.
treat somebody who's representing themselves just like you would any other attorney. She
That's
just
true.
goes overboard and explains to him.
Well, I
more than
think
maybe
that's
she-
probably because she didn't want him to be able to come back and appeal.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I gotta tell
Absolutely.
you,
What?
and Lord help me, because I would never take her side. But you know who actually did an okay job at pro se is
Lori.
Lori Vallow.
We were
I was
pissed.
watching this and I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
I
she
hate
did.
you, but you know, I guess if you are in prison, you have nothing but time to do research. So good on you, Lori.
Nothing but time.
Rotten.
But Lori's another example of how you can just be like, nope, I had nothing to do with it. Over.
Oh.
Over and over.
And there's a lot of jailhouse lawyers or prison lawyers in there that'll be like, and this is what you need to do.
Well,
No, Lori did fairly well for her.
I'll tell you, if I ever got
There's
myself in a
no-
court case, I'd hire Lori Vallow over David Gingras. So there's that.
I mean, she does have probably more experience.
Yeah, she does her due diligence. So, you know.
Yeah.
But
If you
is
ever covered
David-
Daryl, please let us in on that.
He's a civil lawyer. He's not a criminal lawyer, right?
He's a First Amendment right lawyer who goes against content creators and is like, you said something nasty.
Wait, he's a
about-"
First Amendment rights lawyer?
Yes.
Like he's like a constitutional lawyer?
Yes.
Wow.
On his website where he writes all his Dear Diaries, he is a, what did he call himself? A First Amendment specialist.
Oh,
Which is funny
that's
because if you were a
irony.
specialist, maybe you would understand that I could say whatever I want and have my opinion on the internet.
how dare
The
you?
irony.
How dare you?
You can say what you want, but it better agree with what I have to say.
Right.
Otherwise, no. Which it's crazy to me that those two somehow found each other in life. Lauren and Gingras. Like, how does that happen?
I wouldn't tank my life for people I know. Like, and he just took her on as a client, and then he's like, I'm going to drive this shit into the ground.
Why would she reach out to a First Amendment rights lawyer?
Because nobody else is who's going to take her case?
Yeah, do we know? Check, because I don't know. Did she find him or did he find her? Because at this, you know, with
I think
Clayton
she
stuff,
found
it
him.
is no, she found him.
Yeah, but I think because he has such a thirst to be a content creator, I think that he thought he could get on this case, and if he could win it, that would skyrocket him. I mean, it did, but the other way.
The complete opposite. So
Yeah.
a lot
I
like Laura
had
going to the
no
press.
Mm-hmm.
Who says rude things that is not virtuous, empathetic, or sympathetic. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get into his crazy, to be quite honest with you. Just because it's like, how do you get crazier than Laura? And what everyone's told me is,
And that's the thing,
buckle
right?
up.
Like, Laura Owens is dangerous. What's
She's
even
been out
more
a mess.
dangerous is somebody standing next to her, gassing her up, telling her she's right.
Mm. Yeah, so because where we are in the timeline, they're about to do Laura's deposition.
God,
And
I want to hear that so bad.
I know,
care. I
right?
want all the parts. I don't care how boring they are.
No, see, I think Clayton should just start a YouTube channel. Why not? Release it
go.
there. You do commentary. I'll fucking watch you all day. Clayton, you make money off of this shit because she obviously ain't paying you, you know. But so we know that well, this is what we'll be talking about on Thursday. She has this deposition. Basically, that's when the lies really start coming out. And Corey's like, I'm fucking out.
Yeah. He saved himself.
And basically, they just start filing, you know, all this stuff. You would think it should be done at that point. All right. They basically have Laura dead to rights in this civil, you know, paternity thing. They're trying to wrap it up with motion to compel to, you know, and then she gets Gingras. And then we're back to square one. Like they were so fucking close. And then his Clayton's fees just start going through the
Well, and that's part of the
roof.
game, right? Like that's part of the game with lawyers and a lot of people who weaponize the court system is even if they don't think they can beat you, they think that they can beat you through wasting your money because you'll run out of resources eventually.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is another reason why she chose guys that she did, you know, because nothing wrong with what any of them did or do as a job, right? But I didn't gather that any of them were from like wealthy families like the Owens. And wealthy in quotations, you know. I know Clayton's from Missouri and, you know, they just seem very like down to earth, middle, you know,
Right.
income guys or whatever. Not, you know, millions of dollars, 20 grand a month.
Yeah.
And they have bills they haven't paid. Are you kidding me?
Girl, I've done a lot more for a lot less. I'll tell you what I do for 20,000 a month.
Right? Right? $20,000 a month.
Start selling pictures of my feet for $20,000. I said sell pictures of my feet for $200 a month.
Right?
It's a running
That's just
joke here.
crazy. But, you know, it seemed like she also was like, oh, because she says to Clayton, she was like, I have unlimited funds to go after you. And, you know, I think she was hoping that too with all of them was that they wouldn't fight. Greg was like, fucking let's go. Which is why Greg right away was like, oh, really? Fine. But even then, he, you know, had to go times without a lawyer and then would have to get a new lawyer because she's a fucking bitch. So I think that she was just trying to run. And now her parents are bankrupt because they ran out of money.
Sucks
Karma. Love karma playing out in real time for them all.
I know a lot of people, I haven't been shown evidence otherwise, and I know a lot of people talk about the sister and her being involved. And I don't know if I can believe through what I've seen yet that she's involved or if she just doesn't want to be in it. So she just kind of like ignores it. But I am curious as to how this has all impacted her.
Yeah, I don't really have opinions about Sarah yet. Or I should say, like, again, we haven't been through everything either. I know when it comes to Mike, like she had met because they were younger. You know, that was 10 years ago when they started dating, you know. But listen, I know having a toxic family and she moved away from them, but then her name's on like the house now. I don't know. I don't know much. She's kept her mouth shut, so that's something. At least somebody in that family seems to just be like, okay, let's not make everything public. But
I just don't have enough evidence to know where I stand on that yet. I know where I stand with Jan, and I'm pretty sure I know where I stand with Ron. But Sarah, I'm still not sure yet.
Yeah, I think because we saved part of when Mike Maricini goes back for the DVRO in 2025 and more stuff comes out then of what really was going on behind the scenes then. And I think that's where her interaction might be more so. I don't know. But I agree. I don't really know much yet about her, except that she did move far away from them. So to some level, and she secured a man. I think Laura, because Laura's the younger one of the two. And I think Laura, another reason why she did all of this is to compete with her sister, you know, for attention. Like She goes to have a baby, and all of a sudden, Laura's pregnant with the Bachelor's fucking babies.
Right.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. There was a comment up here that Mike and Clayton said that Sarah was involved. I haven't heard. I know they've said that the family is involved. I haven't heard in what capacity they have said that Sarah's involved. So I'll get there, but I just, I want to see. I just like to make my own decision. It's funny because the chat will be like, no, but you guys have to remember you have so much more information than we do. So it's like when I just want to make sure that I'm making my own decisions with my own brain at the own, I never want to have like a pack mentality, I guess. I just don't have access to this information yet.
And there's a lot of stuff that happens outside of court, like on social media and like in real time at the time and coverage. There's always stuff to uncover. Wink says, yeah, as much as Laura and Sarah talk, but do they talk that much? Because she was like, Jan said, they talk for like 2 hours every day. Does she talk to Laura though, or does she just answer it because she's obligated and sits it down because she has a baby? Could you talk to Laura for 2 hours every day? Because I don't think I could.
For 20 grand a month?
I don't think she'd let you talk.
And that's one of the things that I think about too, right? Like you have to think about if Laura's getting money from her parents, Sarah, in my opinion, right, is also probably getting money from her parents. So when you look at a toxic family dynamic and you look at money being held over your head, what does she have to allow to like continue going and just be quiet so that she can get her check at the end of the month?
A fair point. Bruce brings up the co-conspirator. Is it not Jan?
Look at the charges and the idea that there's a co-conspirator. Now think, what could Jan have done to bring about those charges? Now think about what the sister could have done to bring those charges. So that would be implying that she knowingly gave Laura the sonogram.
But to use against
Clayton.
I was about to say, but doesn't everybody give like over your sonogram?
Yeah, I just assumed her mom gave it to her or something like that. Or
well, I was just
Jan,
or give my mom one.
It may not be Jan.
That's
the co-conspirator.
I don't think it's above Laura to, if I were to send my sister a picture of my sonogram, like, look at my baby, and for her to take it and do something without Sarah's knowledge. I mean, obviously the police know more than we do, but I just don't know. I know somebody in the chat said that Mike did an interview. I know that because the chat has said that. I've not listened to it yet, so I just have to listen. I'll get there.
Oh, is that the one with Megan Fox?
Yeah.
Author, not the actress, Megan Fox. We watched that one, not on the show, but like separately. It was very interesting to hear all what he had to say. But again, that was 10 years ago. How old were they? 20 in their 20s. So I don't know. I never thought about Sarah being. Honestly, I don't think about her very much in this whole scenario.
No, I think it would be more Jan than Sarah.
I was about to say, I'm not seeing Sarah yet until somebody shows me a little more, because I can see a lot of stuff being done behind her back.
Yeah,
like,
Sarah and her husband. Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, they're on the hook for Jan and Ron's debts, or they co-signed on the house. But, just because Sarah did something with her parents doesn't mean that she's complicit in these crimes with Laura. I don't see the connection there. And also, with them being on the loan for the house, that sucks, man.
Yeah, I don't understand, because I don't have mortgage money, house money. So that whole part of the story, I don't really understand of also why they had to come. I need Big Tiff to explain it all to me someday. Thanks, Tiff. Because why would they do that? What was happening? That I don't understand how all that stuff works. But also, so they're held accountable now too for when they lose the house.
Yeah, because if they're on the deed or the mortgage, you're co-signing. You carry that debt now. I don't think anyone thinks meeting of Sarah. Things are expected of her, but nothing is thought of her. Oh, you mean inside of the family?
That is very interesting. That
Mhm.
I wonder what her husband thinks.
Dude. If this was my husband, and I mean, I know I've gone through some legal shit with my family while my
Yes, please
husband's
do,
been with
Tiff.
me, but if this were to be my family, I don't know. Ugh.
Like, what does he think about it? What do the people outside of them think about it? I
Well,
think Sarah got bullied into it. I mean, I could see dramatics. We have watched some police body cam with Jan for the wellness checks. And I could imagine the way she just talks to the cops, just talk. But again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know their
Well, it's
relationship. I
the
don't
way
have an
that
opinion on Sarah yet,
it's the
but I'm
way that
sure.
she regurgitates everything that Laura says, which either tells me that you blindly believe what Laura says, or you're making up these stories with her.
Well, see, and that's why I said I didn't know if she was, just going along with what Laura said, like us,
Yeah.
one of those dance moms or whatever. Is that no offense, dance moms, but like, that are always like their kid doesn't do anything wrong. I just believe everything my kid says.
Right.
Not that
I mean,
that's a
the
great way
guys,
to be, but there are people with that mentality.
I mean, I'll say too, like if the guys think so, they obviously have more interactions and they're pretty respectful guys that I don't think they want to put all the tea out there on some of them. But
Liz says, look at Sarah's actions. I haven't gotten that. I would be interested
That's
to
what I
know
say.
what the actions are.
I will say, what actions? Like, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what actions.
yeah,
What did she do?
little baby
I'm
noobs.
intrigued.
We're little babies, little baby noobs. I didn't think about just it not being Jan
Yeah.
at all.
I
So
think
that's,
Jan's closely tied to it.
but if she was doing it, why isn't the co-conspirator gotten charges then?
Okay, but what about Ron? How deep in it is
Uh,
he?
He
Or is he just
doesn't seem to
whatever?
be
Yeah.
with it.
Not only that, I also think from Ron's point of view as a man in that household with both Jan and Laura, I think it's just easier for her to easier for him to just let them go and do
That's what I
whatever.
thought.
He has said things against, but look it, right? He convinced Michael to stay with Laura until they could calm her down and then Michael could leave.
And he would
I
help him get out. Yeah.
I want to know why everybody is so scared of Laura Owens. Because it's like they walk on eggshells around her.
I don't know.
Is it because
I don't get
she's
it, but
so
I get it.
volatile? Maybe she really does suffer, and they're like, she is gonna hurt herself. You don't understand. She is gonna hurt herself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, because they didn't give two shits. They were like, "Hey, Mike,
If your
you
daughter
talk to
is
her."
on the verge of hurting herself and you truly believe that, you're telling me that you wouldn't try to get them some psychiatric help?
I believe I would, but I don't believe there are a lot of families that think that would reflect negatively on their family. And being if their family is like very like VIP and everybody knows them, I mean that, and not that this isn't looking negatively on their but at the time you're not thinking that this is going to happen. But there is a lot of people that don't seek mental health for the stigma.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely just look at everything that Laura's been going through, and like as a mother, I don't know at what age how you don't step in and intervene.
I mean, I agree.
Listen, my mom lives 2 hours away. Literally, when I thought, well, we were losing the baby when I had my miscarriage, she lives 2 hours away. She's ready to drive up here. If I'm in any sort of condition, my mom will immediately drive up here. But then sorry, I'm heating up coffee, but I'm also everybody's conscious speaking. But in Mike, when they're like, "Oh, we don't know where she is," we're afraid she's going to kill herself. They don't fucking call the cops to look for her, put out a bolo for her. They don't go looking themselves. They put it all on to Mike. And that's when I was like, oh, because who would do that? I mean, yes, I would reach out to, I'd expect somebody to reach out to Elbow Feet, right? But also, my mom's coming up there and looking for my ass too if they're worried she's going to kill herself.
Right.
You know, it's
I
not just
mean,
throwing a temper tantrum.
not if this is a habitual thing and they're just like, I need you to talk her off a ledge. Like, this is a thing she does just to bring her back out of it because they don't want to deal with it because they know this is how she is.
Which is
I
what
mean,
Ron said.
Shawnee, this is a great point. In toxic families, all relationships become to some degree poisoned and twisted to serve the sickest member and protect the image of the family in the picture of false health.
That is
that
very
is
true.
very
Happens
true.
all the time.
Right.
in
It's the
all
prodigal
families,
son. We
sorts of
gotta
families.
save the prodigal son. He is the most important.
What's the age difference between Sarah and Laura? I forget.
Oh, I don't know.
I think they're very close in age.
I forget Sarah exists until somebody brings her up, to be honest with you.
Somebody I saw, sorry, I'm doing something. Somebody said that Sarah was Ron's favorite and Laura was more Jan, which then that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. Because
Oh, so
Jan
she's
quits
got daddy
working.
issues.
No, I just think Jan gave a lot of self-importance probably, right? She probably
Well,
overheard Jan constantly being like, well, I'm the wife of local celebrity, Ron Owens. We know all these people and all of that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they just coddle her. I mean, look at the way, well, you guys don't know yet, but you'll understand too as parents in the body cam footage, the way she is shrieking like in her mother's face. And somebody just brought that up, the way she was
What?
screaming. Like, I can't and Jan's just sitting there and she's like, I know, this is so horrible. This is so shut up. Like, but they coddle to whatever it is.
Like the search warrant body cam?
Mm-hmm.
What? Why would she be yelling at her parent? Interesting.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
Just wait.
That's a good
I
point
know.
too. I think the family does that to Sarah too. They forget she exists until somebody brings her up, or she becomes necessary, like they need a loan on the house.
Oh, I can't wait to get to this body cam. Oh, I think we might have to start coming on earlier and maybe do some other ones to speed it up because we're so close, but also so far away. What? Oh, she's 2 years. Okay, there's a 2-year age difference. Oh, that's interesting. So they should have went to like school together and all of that.
I can tell you guys some personal information off stream, but I do know 2 sisters who are 18 months apart, and it's exactly this, right? You have one that did everything the right way and, got married and had a child, and then you have the other one who's always trying to keep up but can't do it and is constantly making terrible decisions.
Oh, I don't have a sister, so I don't know that.
My sister is 19 months apart. Like
oh, you and your sister are that close too? I didn't realize that.
We're 19 months apart.
Sisters. Me and my sister are 16 years and 23 years apart.
Wow.
Me and my sister are 19 months apart, and there is there is always some form of, because she's the outgoing one.
Mm-hmm.
She's the cheerleader, that personality. And I was like, Daria, if you remember that, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
She was the Quinn.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and sometimes you get that sibling competition.
Elo didn't do things right. Clayton only got half the experience. He never got invited to the House of Prime Rib. Oh my gosh. I have a background for it and everything. For when we covered Mike, because the House of Prime Rib comes up so much. It's hilarious. But I have a background for it and all of those things. We could do a 24-hour stream. Yeah, we could. That we could.
I have to sleep.
Buffy's like, I don't have that kind of stamina. And Llama's like, I would, but I don't think anybody wants to watch
I don't know if
10
your
hours when we're not
ears
doing a
can
trial.
handle Laura Owens for 24 hours.
Mm-mm.
Start bleeding from the brain.
After we're done each time talking about it, I do feel dumber because my brain is trying, as we've said, to try to make sense of all of this and it can't.
Right.
And so it just makes you feel real dumb afterwards. And I can't imagine what it must be like to experience this in real life with her.
Exhausting.
Because even being
Yes.
on the outside, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Reading the emails was frustrating. The back and forth emails.
Yeah. But the thing is like she's dealing with just like regular dudes and regular lives, and her brain moves at the speed of light. Like, and they're just trying to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is she taking? I need some of that.
If I had 1 ounce of her hyper focus, her confidence, quite frankly, her confidence level is astounding.
Yeah.
All right. If I had even a smidgen of all of these things, man, could probably rule the world because I have none of those things. The problem is that she has too much. And the lack of self-awareness doesn't make her bring it down a notch, but
Zero self-awareness.
Zero. And she does, but she also doesn't because she says it all in the emails.
Well,
but she doesn't think she's doing it. She thinks everybody else is doing it. So
right.
it's like,
but that's the thing, like looking back on all of this and like seeing yourself and seeing the way that people are reacting to you, like, aren't you embarrassed?
Right.
I would be.
Yes. I would be.
I would
mortified.
100%.
Like
Totally.
a long time ago, maybe into like the second court filing of my marriage. I feel like I'm done. Just put me in a rocket to the moon. I never want to see people or the internet again.
Get to the court filing. The fact that these men are like, no, I don't want to date you. I mean, listen, it's so funny because we were going through the ADRE here reports, and we were going through Clayton's evidence, and he's showing all the text messages from her to Clayton, and she brings up drinks with Clayton multiple times, and he never responds. I would be like, you know what? I'll just find another realtor because I'm moving to another state. Like, I
right?
you to give me a hard no. A soft no is good enough.
Yeah.
Man, if you take too long to respond to something, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I forget I asked.
No.
Exactly.
Like I don't think she likes me. I don't think he likes me.
Yeah. I've sent out some emails to like content creators, and I'm like, hey, do you want to collab? Like content creators that are bigger than me that are talking about this case. And whatever, they haven't responded. And then my Gmail will be like, hey, do you want to follow up? And I'm like, hey, can you just shoot me in the face? Because that's how I feel right now.
Can I take it back, please?
Right. Can you actually delete that email?
They didn't respond. Forget I ever sent
You know
that.
what? Who am I? Bye.
Yeah, I could never. I mean, even reaching out to other people, I'm so bad about. Like,
well, we all know you.
We are not.
You don't email.
I don't email, but we're both very introverted people, Buffy and I. And people have been like, oh, like maybe you could talk to Clayton. Everybody else is. And we're like, we would rather die than ask him and him say, no, we're just not going to. We're not going to do it.
Well, because when I said that in the stream and everybody's like, you should ask him. I'm like, you guys are freaking me out, giving me the confidence that he'll say yes. And then I messaged him and it was like 20 minutes later. And I'm like, oh, like, what do I do with this? Like, I'm only used to rejection. How do you,
right?
You weren't supposed to answer this email, sir. Like,
look how sweaty my armpits are just talking to you. Clayton, forget about it. I'm just going to be just pouring all the time. No, I do think that's everybody's said it. I've said it. You've said it. Everybody has said it, that if Laura would have just went for something good, who knows what her story could have been? Do you think she's at all redeemable?
No.
Me either.
No.
Me
and
either.
Only because she has shown such a lack of self-awareness through this whole thing. I think that any apology would be self-serving.
Mhm. I mean, she
And
could cure kids' cancer, and I'd still be like, "Fuck you, Laura
Right.
Owens.
Right.
Fuck you. Thanks for doing that, but fuck you."
yeah, I don't foresee her being able to reflect. I really don't. I mean, if she was able to reflect, she would leave Michael Maricini and his family alone.
Mhm.
And she had the opportunity to do so when that all fell apart. And she could have just disappeared into the mist.
Yeah.
And she chose not to.
Still choosing not to this day.
And
Still
that's
choosing
what
not
I'm
to.
saying. Filing the appeal and coming back, that she has no,
1,000,000%.
I don't even know what it is. Yeah, she just,
You
she
don't
has,
think she has no, like, not in any way, shape, or form she could redeem herself? Like, not just say I'm sorry, but like actual like work.
I don't think so.
Like you don't
if she apologized, okay, and I'll be dead by this time. If she apologized, paid these men their money with interest,
Mhm.
public apology, private apology, and never weaponize the court system again, sure. I won't hold my breath.
But even then, that would take time. You know, 2 years, nope, still not 5,
Well,
10, 20. I don't think so.
I didn't say all that. Don't put,
I know.
don't mince words. I'm also saying that I feel like I don't know. I have a hard time, and maybe it's the Buddhist in me that really just has a hard time believing that not everybody is capable of becoming better
I
Yeah.
think anybody's capable of
if they
becoming
wanted
better, but
to.
she's had 10 years to be capable of anything other than what she's doing.
That is true. What
Well,
she did to Stormy is irredeemable in my eyes.
But here's the other thing too. It's not my apology to accept.
That
It's
is
for
true.
Mike and his family, it's for Greg and his family, and it's for Clayton. You know, I don't know. I don't know. That's like Sherry Papini. You know, she didn't
Mhm.
kill anybody, but she came out of prison. She's like, just kidding. I have a new story now. You know, like people like that, I don't think they can get better. Because here's the thing, and I was
Mhm.
talking about this with my sister the other day, the youngest one, and we were talking about, you know, people lashing out. My sister, she's like you, right? She thinks everybody is the best, everybody has the best qualities, everybody is redeemable. She's 17, I've lived, I'm 40.
Oh,
However, I've lived 23 years more life than her.
yeah.
And I know a lot of things now, and I experience a lot of things differently than her. I was going somewhere with this. We were talking about people lashing out. We were talking about
People changing.
people changing. Thought was here, now it's gone. Damn it.
that
Welcome to
happens
us.
to me all the time.
Well, we're 42. I'm 40. I forget how old, but I know she's in her. She doesn't have to say which the second
I'm
number is.
43. I'll be
43.
44 in July.
But by this age, you can see that people do change. You've changed. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Oh,
If you learn
well,
as you go along, but I don't think Laura's capable of doing
I got
it
my
because-
thought back.
Sure, you go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up in an extremely tumultuous household, and I used to be, up until my 20s, probably my mid 20s, a huge piece of shit, because we were talking about lashing out. And
Okay.
I was destructive, and I didn't care who got in my way. I didn't care who I hurt. I didn't care. I was a locomotive, and I was moving forward, and you were either on this train or you were getting destroyed by this train.
Right.
And one of the hardest things for me, especially with meeting my husband and then having children, was learning how my actions affect people that I care about. And having that self-awareness finally is devastating, because you're like, not only the hurt am I causing you, but the hurt that I'm causing myself is
Yes.
my fault. And
Yep.
I'm not sure until she gets to that point that she can make changes. And the thing is, is I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to that point and I'm like, wow, you're a real piece of shit. And I've still continued my actions because you're programmed in a way to continue doing so.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
You're
And to make
hardwired.
change, right. It's easier to be a piece of shit than it is to be a better person and take people into consideration.
And even that is a rare thing. You know, a lot of people don't want to do it because it's hard. It makes them
It
feel
is hard.
icky. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people is that that's not the easy road, you know, at all to self-reflect and tell yourself, yeah, sometimes I'm an asshole and here's why I'm an asshole. And, you know, it's a whole thing. I've been in therapy now for, you know, almost 10 years
Yeah.
of my 30s and just learning that, oh, I've been doing it this like I don't even know how to do certain I do now because I've learned tools and things like that. But no,
Well,
you
and
know,
who
that
likes to be wrong? Nobody.
yeah, nobody likes to be wrong. Nobody likes to be the asshole.
Right.
But yeah, we're all
I'm never wrong.
shitty
Yeah.
sometimes, you know.
Well, and
All
when
of
I
us
was
are a villain
too,
to somebody.
going through my, my teens and my 20s, I was the victim. Everybody hurt me. And I think that's why I understand Laura Owens so much because if you hurt her, it gives her justification, gives her validation to be able to hurt you back. And
Mhm.
I've been there, right? You hurt me and now I'm going to get you in the worst way. And the problem is you don't realize that she's miserable. She wakes up miserable, she goes to bed miserable, and it is so much easier to outsource that
Mhm.
blame than it is to say, "Oh, I could just choose to be different." So
Right.
when I first met my husband, I remember because I was just like, I just did what I want whenever I wanted. And I remember within 2 weeks of us dating, I was like, cool guy. I was like, you can go fuck whoever you want. I don't care, whatever. And he just looked at me and he was like, okay, well, I'm really invested in you. And if you're not invested in me, then that's cool. But you need to let me
Mhm.
know so I don't waste my time. And I was like, why are you treating me like an adult? And it was like,
Yeah.
at that moment, I had to be like, okay, what am I going to do here? Am I going to burn this bridge or am I going to try to do something different than what I've done? And I've had to learn, especially with my husband day by day. My kids have fucked me up, man. I apologize 3 times a day. And then I go to
Same.
bed and they go to sleep and I'm like, shit, like I've ruined them. This is 10 years on the couch. All right, I'll try again tomorrow. And I like take notes of how this has affected them and that, and it's a hard place to be because it is so easy to be like, all right, fuck you then. I'm out of here. I don't care because I'm hurt. And that's
Yeah.
more important.
Hurt people.
Right.
But I just don't know where Laura's hurt comes from. So I'm not saying she didn't have something had to have happened for this, but I don't know what it would be. Well, maybe a lot of things, obviously, but
Yeah, I mean, or maybe it could be nothing. I mean, maybe it is the fact that she's never seen any consequences and it's progressed. And if you look at just Michael and Greg and Clayton, even then it's progressed over time. And it's just
Yeah.
she's just used to she is not used to somebody telling her no.
I just watched your cat hit your dog Buffy in the face. Your cat just went, "Pff, no." See, animals get it, Laura. When no means no, look at Penny being like, okay, I'm not going to bother you anymore, Khaleesi.
Those two.
She never got a
Really
rose.
good. Ladies.
I think Laura also lives, there's one thing that I'm sure you are the same. We're all exposed to the Disney princess romance in our childhood, right? You're going to live in a castle and you're going to be rescued by a prince and all that fairy tale, thing. I don't think she ever grew out of that as well.
Well,
I think she like lives in this fantasy that most of us start to realize once we become adults, like, no, there is no Prince Charming. We're all fucked up. Great guys that we're with, but also you're not a princess. And she
No,
thinks
and
she's a princess.
with stir crazy, I agree with this too. Hurt people, but when someone hurts me, I don't turn around and want to hurt others. I turned around and wanted to hurt others because I didn't have the skills to not want to. I was very deep down in destructive behavior. And
Yeah.
that's the difference. It's just an excuse, right? I'm hurt, so I'm going to lash out and do whatever that is. And it's just the fact that she doesn't have the emotional maturity to then not take whatever it is out on other people. And as far as what you were saying about princesses and whatever, I mean, look at the way Jan talks about her. Oh, she's, the victim, and we have a successful podcast. And if you look at all the way she talks about her now, imagine what that does to your 4, 6, 8-year-old little girl when you're so perfect. Anybody's going to want to be with you, and they would be so lucky. And that sets her up for the fact that she got rejected and she can't handle it. Because why wouldn't you want to be with me? I'm so special. I'm so smart. If you could just see that, if you could just see how great I am. But the problem is Laura can't see I would say she can't see how great she is. But I mean,
don't know about that.
But if you truly can't love yourself, right? How are you going to be able to accept love from someone else and truly love someone else? There is a part deep down in Laura that needs this validation because she does not like herself. Excuse me, my dog is
Is all the animals fighting?
Yeah.
All the animals have gone crazy. Mine's fighting. Hers is gone crazy.
Mine's sleeping for once. Sorry. I feel like there's like a hair in my eyeball. But
even my dog, like, I'm tired of talking about Laura Owens.
Well, what are you going to talk about other than Laura on your channel? What other stuff do you cover? So that way our viewers, sorry, I'm just trying to see my eyeball. What other stuff do you cover on your channel if you want to let other people know?
I mean, Laura has sucked up most of my time. I just released a video about Wade Wilson because I watched a documentary about how these bitches were sending him money in jail after he was a convicted murderer, which is disgusting. And right now I need to film my video about Haley Beck. I wrote a script about her. She's a teacher in Maricopa County. She's
I have heard about that.
And she her brother is Noah Beck, who's a content creator. He's a TikTok.
Right?
Yeah.
And she was writing those text messages.
Oh, dude. And this kid, so she's writing all these text messages because she's grooming the student. And this student is just roasting her. And it's
so bad.
I know. I'm just like, oh, and so I wrote my script about that. I need to film that. And then just stuff like that, more true crime, and just really wherever the wind takes me.
How long have you been doing this for, Bacon?
Oh my God, I've been on YouTube forever. I used to do makeup actually, and I used to do body painting. And then I got off for a while because I had kids and just life. And then I got back on it to do a podcast. And I originally set out, I think it was like last August? I really started consistently posting. And I just started talking about documentaries. Like I just wanted to be like a regular commentator. And it kind of fell down true crime, which is actually, I think that's why I'm stuck on the Laura Owens, because I am like a funny, kiki kind of person. And you can't always do that with true crime. You have to be more responsible.
That's true.
But I think that's why I've been here for so long. Cause I'm like, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you guys?
Well, I usually do trials, but I've taken a very long break in covering trials. They're probably only going to cover ones in August and September. Laura's number one if she goes, but there's a few others we might cover, like Sarah Grace Patrick.
Is that the TikToker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hers was supposed to go in January, but then it got moved. Because, see, here's the thing, chat, just to let you know, Buffy and I
moved to
August. Because every time we go to plan the trials to cover, they immediately get moved. We have horrible luck in planning ahead. So that's why we're like, well, we know Laura's probably not going to trial in August because that never works out for us. But I've taken a break from trials because last year I streamed 802 hours last
Damn.
year from trials. So it's a lot. Karen Reed was like 214
yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
you know, so I kind of took a step back from doing that. And we're just, you know, covering Laura along the way. But there are a few trials at the end of the year that we want to cover. John Skelton, because he's a father of the 3 Skelton boys who disappeared several years ago. He's been charged now with murder.
Mm.
And so there's going to be a few week-long evidentiary hearing for that, which I'm very excited to cover that as well. So that's what we do for Couch Court with Llama. And then Terry, True Crime, she's the one who started it all with True
Yeah.
Crime and Wine Time. We just cover, you know, cases. A lot of them already happened, but also ones that you don't really hear about because, you know, yeah, everybody's covered certain ones. So we do try to pick ones that aren't out there too much. Upcoming, we have the Stephen Hilder case. He's a skydiver. It's was it murder or suicide? Those are always interesting. And then we're going to learn about Sarah Hartfield, who I've never heard of. She is a Black widow, and it's crazy. We'll be getting to her in July. So I always love a good female story because they don't
I'm
get
not a
told very
YouTuber.
often.
Not a
Buffy's
YouTuber.
not. She was
You
just
look-
like, Llama, I'll help you out. So you're tired.
Llama
you know,
got
so
sick
tired.
one day, and
You
he
look
needed
like
help
a YouTuber to
reading a
me.
doc-
We all look the same sitting here.
and I was like, I'll come on and help you read to help give your voice a break. And I've been in front of a camera for how many hours now?
A lot. Over 100. We've
yeah.
spent over 100 hours already on Laura Owens. And we're not even to the end of Clayton's and hers hearing.
Yeah.
But you did Karen Reed with me as well.
I did
for a
sit.
part of
I
it.
went through the Karen Reed trial with you because I watched the first one. You didn't watch the first one, so I was there to
right.
kind of help guide you through it. But that was the first time I've ever been on a live stream, and then this would be the second longest time I've ever been on a live stream. So
Yeah.
or the
So-
second verse, yeah.
But you're always.
I don't know if you can't
more
tell I'm not a
than-
talker.
Oh, you're a
That's
good
not true.
listener.
She is a good listener. No, so like if you ever want to come on and we're watching a trial and you're like, I got things to say.
You know,
you're more than welcome
interestingly
to.
enough, I've never watched a trial that I don't know about. And that's the one thing, one of the things that I love about Emily D. Baker so much is she has the restraint to go into trials truly as a
Mhm.
juror and not take out outside resources. So I think I would like to try to start to watch trials and not know any outside information, because what
Mhm.
would I think as a juror, right?
Yeah. We've watched several of those too, where we didn't know anything about them going in. I think Paul Canero we didn't expect that one to be as tough as it was to sit through. But we've watched all different kinds of trials too, because both Buffy and I are very much like the state has to prove a lot.
Yeah.
And we don't always agree on our positions. But I mean, there have been trials we've watched where the state has fucking nothing. And then the person is found guilty and we're just like, wait, what? Based on what? And then there's somewhere we like, oh yeah, that motherfucker did kill them, but the state didn't prove it.
Right.
It's interesting when they do have a slam dunk case. It's great when both sides suck. A lot of people think trials are boring, and they are. Okay, sometimes they are. But to see how they work so different, really, there's a lot that can open your eyes, because as much as we're about justice, there's a lot of times when justice isn't had.
Oh yeah, our system sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
We need an
And-
overhaul.
And a lot of people, the media gets to things before the court does.
Mhm.
And so a lot of people will have opinions, and then you get to the trial and you're like, wait, nothing I've read about was actually what happened. And those are always good to watch too. Like, you shouldn't trust the media, content create anybody
Mhm.
telling you. That's why we like to watch trials, because you're forming your own opinion
Mhm.
on the facts in real time. Now, Can all the facts be included? No, because that's how court is. They rule what can come in and can't come out. But at the end of the day, you're deciding what you think. So, there's some cases we've done where, yeah, we know ahead, like Laura, right? And I'll start off being like, listen, I am biased as fuck with
Yeah.
this trial.
Yeah.
But then we've watched some others where we've known nothing and we're like, wow, okay.
But even with Laura Owens, I mean, if she has a great attorney, it's not above me to be like, that's a good point. Because you have to put yourself in the position of Laura, right? Like, and you hope that her lawyers could come back and poke holes in these stories. If you were her.
I like listening to the opposite side that I'm on. So like if I've already like bought the prosecution story, I do like to listen to the defense. I want to hear what they bring to poke holes, because then I'm like, oh. But see, I also like playing devil's advocate, which gets me into a lot of trouble sometimes, especially here. Because I always like bring that opposing like point of view, just because it's really easy to get into an echo chamber of what you already think, because this is what you've heard, but like also standing back and look at it from a different perspective. Like I can argue both sides. Most of the time I can really argue both sides.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that with Laura though too, where we're like, yeah, that was a good move from her lawyer filing. That's exactly what a lawyer should be filing for their client. That's the exact that's their job. We've been pretty nice, honestly, with those that represented her in our coverage of it, because it's just what a lawyer does now.
They're doing their jobs. And I've said that about David Gingras too. I think if he went in, he did his job, he knew that he was bringing forth a fraudulent case, he withdrew. I think the community would have had a different reaction, but he has fallen on the sword, and then he has martyred himself on this sword. And then,
I can't wait to get to that.
I know.
I don't understand it. I don't.
It's true. He does that to me all the time. Well, I did a really big deep dive into Crystal Rogers, who disappeared. That's a really crazy story out of Kentucky. She disappeared. There was a cop that was killed. Her dad was assassinated. Whew, a lot was going on, right? And it's very obvious that the father of her child, her boyfriend, did it, right?
Okay.
But then when it finally came to trial, they didn't have anything on this guy, and they did find him guilty, but my opinion was no. Like, they didn't prove anything.
Llama, I was like, girl, I know we both think that this guy did it, but like they've got nothing. She's like, they've got nothing.
Well, I mean, one of the most controversial cases, and I got to tell you, do I think I could have found him guilty? Maybe. Do I think I could have found death penalty guilty? I don't know. Scott Peterson? I don't know. Because the evidence, it was all circumstantial, right? And when you're looking at the death penalty for somebody, are you capable as a juror to send somebody to death off of circumstantial evidence? Now, had they had DNA? Like, I mean, OJ blows me away. I've watched the trial. I get it. But also I'm like, guys. But at the same time with Scott Peterson, do I think he's guilty? 1000%. Do I think that they had enough evidence to prove that it was him beyond a reasonable doubt for death penalty? I don't know.
It's a very high bar.
Right.
I mean, I also have an unpopular opinion that I think the verdict for Alex Murdaugh was wrong. I don't think that he shot and killed his wife and son. I've been this way. Do I think he was there? Yes. Do I think he knows what happened? Yes. Do I think he pulled that trigger? No, I don't.
So what happened?
So this is where me and her disagree.
So what happened?
That's true. That's true. I do think he owed the wrong people money, and that they came after and killed his wife and son and left him alive because they wanted the money. Because see, here's the thing is, we know that I have a lot of opinions about how they handled that case, because it was quite shocking that they focused on all the fight. I don't think if he killed them, it wasn't for financial reasons. It doesn't make any sense. But he was in the drug world, and in that area, drugs are rampant. the amount that the state set of pills he had on him means you are in cahoots with some big people high up. And we know that Murdaugh owed money to a lot of people everywhere. And there's one group where you don't want to owe money to. And I think it had more to do with this drug problem and who he had possibly owed money to. Because him shooting his wife and kids because of the state story didn't sell it for me, I guess, is really my big thing. If he did shoot his wife and kid, it'd probably be more because they took his drugs away than fucking money. He's been doing this for years. And I think Maggie had to have known. Let's be honest here about that. But I did say I thought he deserved a new trial, and it looks like we might be getting a new trial.
I will say, well,
Becky,
it doesn't matter. We might get to do it all over again.
Becky, holy shit balls. Regardless, he does deserve a new trial. He did not get a fair trial. I do believe that. Whether or not we agree on if he did it or if he didn't, I don't believe this state's story. So he could have owed a bunch of
what do you
drug
think
dealers,
about the Snapchat video? How do you explain?
Well, it puts him there. I'm not saying he wasn't there.
Well, why not blame the people that he needs to blame, though?
Because he didn't want Buster to die. They already killed his one son and wife. Maybe he did it to save Buster.
Do you think Buster has any relation to Steven?
No. I don't think Buster has anything to do about anything, to be quite honest, at all. I think I felt really, really bad because Buster was in a very hard predicament during the trial. And I thought kind of like he's a young kid. I mean, he is. He lost. How do you lose your mom and brother and your dad's on trial? Like, that's such a hard place for him to be. And all of the cameras were on him all the time. And I don't know. I don't think Buster had any knowledge of anything at all. Paul?
Yeah, I don't think Buster had any knowledge. That's not what I'm saying. But when they talk about what was his last name? Steven
Smith.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that there was correspondence between him and Buster.
Oh yeah, they all went to school together and stuff.
Yeah, but like deeper correspondence.
Listen, I don't know about all that. I don't know.
I don't think Buster was involved. I think Alex Murdaugh. I think Paul had a big mouth. I think Paul was, I do what I want when I want, whatever I want. And I think he got too big for his britches. I think him and Alex got into an altercation. Something happened. I think Maggie's there. Can't be any witnesses.
I want a Llama Bacon collab stream if Murdaugh goes to trial again, because I want this face off.
No, I mean, again, everybody has that. Like, I think everybody has an unpopular opinion about, something. That's just, I know that's an unpopular
I saw them in the chat about Scott Peterson. I'm not saying that he didn't have enough to be proven guilty. I just don't know if I was a juror, I would have been able to sentence him to death off of what they presented. Seems to be a hot topic.
Yeah. I mean, Murdaugh's a piece of shit. Okay. Yeah. He fucking sucks.
Well,
and he's going to be in jail, but.
Right. It's the same thing when I say anything about Casey Anthony, when I'm like, when people are like, she's out walking free. Yeah. The state didn't do their job. Like, the only reason that I think about it that way is because if I was in Casey Anthony's position and I truly did not kill my kid, I would hope that the jurors would do their job and say, you didn't bring forth enough evidence. Because I think about it, what if she's not? I know she's not. But what if she truly was innocent?
Right. Because just because you think somebody should be found not guilty does not mean that you think they're innocent. A lot of people misconstrue that.
Right. Right.
No. Some people I do think are factually innocent, like Karen Reed.
Are you following this civil trial?
No, not yet.
I don't think much is.
Oh yeah, a lot is.
I haven't been able to catch up on it recently. So
we'll there's stuff popping off all the time on that one.
Well, I think we talked about a lot.
Yeah.
You are so much fun to hang out with. I love watching your stuff. I'm not in the chat. I usually just watch YouTube on my TV while I'm working on other stuff. So I've had you up the last couple of times for a little bit, and I very much enjoy your content, your spunky attitude.
Thanks.
I love it. Your voice is so great. Because I'm like that too, like where like we'll be serious when we need to be serious, but we're also going to have fun where we can have fun, sort of thing. And I think you do a really great job of balancing the two. I think, you put a lot of your own life experience into what you say and what you cover. And I think that's really great, because we're all about genuineness. You're who you are on screen, off screen, sort of thing, that sometimes seems to be lacking around there. So, and girl, I love when you go on your rants. I usually don't rewind, but yesterday I did, because I was like, oh, we started early. Fuck. So I don't usually go back to the beginning, but I saw chat go crazy and I was like, get it. I was literally cheering you on in my bed. I was like, yes, you get up.
I came in late and I was like, what did I walk into? I'm texting Llama. I was like, she going off about somebody. What's that miss? Had to rewind, catch up. I was like,
I have a strong sense of justice. I don't like
you
it.
know what? That's
Don't like
okay. That's why we do these things.
Right? Whether people agree or not, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I too, when people are doing bullshit, it's not okay. I don't have social media for a reason. I live blissfully unaware, which is nice. But no, I think you're amazing. Everybody, please go over, subscribe to BaconBearzz. Her channel's called That's My Opinion. And she has a lot of oh my God. I love when you read that. That's why Bacon, you got to start over from the beginning. You're just going to have to.
Well, I'm going to just whatever. I guess I'll just have to put up like a poll and see what everybody wants to do next. Cause I'm out of content. We got through the investigative report. We got through the ADRE. So like, where do people want me to go next? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Well, I definitely want you to come watch that trial with us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you're down when we go to watch the Clayton showdown.
Yeah. Does a bear shit in the woods? Yeah.
With bacon.
With bacon. Yeah.
Buffy was like,
sometimes.
Because yesterday you were reading Jingers's blog, right? And about, Bruce, the moose. And then Buffy messages me. She was like, oh my God, he's probably going to have a blog soon that's going to be like a moose, a bear, and a llama.
Good. Good.
Oh my.
Especially with those rants.
With those rants, right?
I don't like so I've learned to channel, like I told you guys, I was super destructive in my early 20s. I've learned to channel that against people who deserve it.
Yes. Good for you.
That's where I'm at.
And because
you're
really
a Dexter.
I'm just kidding. Me off is to watch bad people keep getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that too when it comes to
so
war.
righteously.
Because it is hard. It's not hard, but also hard to be a good person. It is. It's hard. Otherwise, the world would probably be a better place if it was easy to be good. But nope. And then just to watch bad people just keep getting away. It's too bad. So, all right.
My dog is begging to get back in again. Wishy-washy. She doesn't know what she wants.
Me too. My dogs too. Zoe's actually been on her best behavior, probably to make me look bad. And be like, see, you had something important and I'm not interrupting. No, she's an old girl, so it happens. But yeah, so thank you for being on with us today. I look more forward as noobs to collaborate more, see who you're going to be interviewing next. You got
Bruce the Moose tomorrow.
What time's Bruce going to be on with you?
11 o'clock Central.
Oh, really?
I have all of my creative roasts written down because David Gingras is lazy.
I love it. Well, we always got your back, girl.
I'm so excited.
Appreciate you coming on with us. You're a lot of fun. So again, please go listen to her over there on That's My Opinion. Give her a sub. Hit the notification bell. Otherwise, she's going to yell at you in her Laura Satan voice.
And I'm going to be pregnant. And then I'm going to kill it.
If you don't subscribe, she's going to have the babies.
Or not.
So
If you promise to subscribe, then I'll kill them all.
she's still willing
I
to
w-
work with you.
I would be okay with that. You could have my babies.
I'm a good pregnant person.
Uh,
I just
all
need
right.
one
Well, thank you everyone again for being with us. Buffy and I will be back Thursday, 11 a.m. We're with more Laura shenanigans. We're almost to David Gingras, so you don't want to miss us reacting to that. What sounds like a chaos tornado. I love that. And then tomorrow, go watch Bacon with Bruce the Moose.
Bruce the Moose.
We'll be there in chat as well. So thank you again, Bacon, for coming on. Everybody else for being here. Make sure you like us, subscribe, and hit the notification bell too. I guess I should promo us on. All right. Until next time, everybody, go forth and be amazing. All right. Bye, friends.